Doog and Yell, 3, 6, 10 and 2 for the ratings. Down the board there as they just start to appear in the mounting yard. Main picks, Spark of Life, $9.60. Takeover Target's the firm favourite. St Basil is in the market there at $9.10. And as we move them up, and that's the rundown for the 7th. Firm favourite, Takeover Target, as Larry chats with Stephen King, the rider of the former Hong Kong racehorse, Hidden Dragon.
Steve, you're on Hidden Dragon, of course he's former.
Favourite, Spark of Life, is the only other one under 10. Chris Munt's riding Spark of Life today. He's got a perfect record on the horse. 4 rides for 4 wins, including the...
What a race this is. $300,000 in prize money. Group 2, the Richmond Grove BTC Cup. Takeover Target, Barrier 2. He's got the... They're racing now. Takeover Target began only fairly, but he picked himself up quickly and he's going through. Regimental Gal and Spark of Life came over quickly from out wide, and when they settle down, it's Regimental Gal joined by Spark of Life, and Takeover Target is straight into the box seat. In comes Public Opinion, Showbiz Kid, St Basil. Only Words is second last, and last is Dane Shadow. Regimental Gal at the 600. 1.5 to Spark of Life. Impaler third. Takeover Target on the fence fourth. Then Breakfast Legally Bay, then comes Yell, Hidden Dragon, Red Erg, Proudly Aggro, Showbiz Kid, and Only Words and Dane Shatter a mile back. Regimental Gal at the 300, or Takeover Target. He slammed into Impaler, got off balance. Regimental Gal leads Spark of Life. 2 lengths away, Legally Bay, Takeover Target, followed by Sir Breakfast, but it's Spark of Life and Regimental Gal, with Spark of Life dashing to the lead from Regimental Gal and Spark of Life. Spark of Life has won. St Basil's come from nowhere. He'll get second, and it's a photo third between Regimental Gal and Takeover Target. Then Legally Bay, Proudly Aggro, Red Oog, Showbiz Kid, the next Hidden Dragon, Sir Breakfast and Yep.
Chris jumped on the horse before I seen him. I give him a bit of a serve. I said, don't ever get on a horse without seeing me. I said, if they go mad, you sit off. I said, this horse doesn't have to lead to win. He settles in a race.
Will he head towards the 10,000 with him?
He's going the paddock.
Good man. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks very much.
G.I. Jane.
Could very well do. I think it was more to just iron out a bit of ring craft.
Scoring handsomely in the end. Terrific training performance by Alan Denham. Chris Muntz aboard. Second was St Basil, coming from the tail of the field. Regimental Gal third. A couple of interesting runs in the race. We'll point those out in a moment. Alan, going to you. What did you make of the Takeover Target?
Well, I thought his run was good. I've never seen the horse before, so it's hard for me to compare him with the last time I saw him, but Impaler that he takes, and the big horse that he is, I think then he took a long while to get his momentum. Spark of Life, professional racehorse, pinged out, sat off the speed behind Regimental Gal. Good to see her back to her best. St Basil, you know, he flew home in the Stradbroke. He ran, third, and he ran third in the VRC Newmarket. He's run second in this race yesterday. He's not far off winning a big race in his career, but this is a very good racehorse.
Up run from him. Look, take nothing away from the winner. He's an outstanding sprinter. He showed speed and stamina there. He left his rivals no excuses. He sat out.
Event is the Mackay Stakes at Group 3 level in Adelaide, and the ratings firstly 5 General Baton and 11 Strike Line equally.
The on the rain affected track on that occasion.
Yeah, he's won on wet tracks before, but against lesser opposition. Against the superior opposition, he's fought on extremely well last start, where a lot of the other good horses folded. So
perfect run.
Yeah, from barrier 4, he should be able to either lead or set up on the pace very easily.
On and 4 lengths away last of all is King's Arch at the 5 General Baton, Strike Line 3 out maybe McLaren. Then there's another line of 4 right behind these leaders, including Teos Pleasure with it on the outside. G.I. Jane sweating on a run, then came on the outside of those trying to run on Danabar. Ahead of it went Super Elegant from Bomber Bill, and Danbird heads the others at the 250, and on the inside General Baton the leader. On the outside coming out at Strike Line, here's Bomber Bill. Chablais down the outside from maybe McLaren. It's still General Baton. Oh, Bomber Bill's digging deep. He's coming quickly, Bomber Bill. He'll do it again at Morfordville. Bomber Bill, what a marvel. He won by a half-length, General Baton. I think G.I. Jane might have grabbed third from Grayson Power. Chablais and Yvonne ran on. Then came Strike Line, followed in by Super Elegant, maybe McLaren. Oh, there's no stopping this horse. That's his third win here. He does not know how to run a bad race. Sensational animal. 21 wins now from 79 starts. Dwayne Dunn for Robert Smurden. Down the outside he's come. He knew what he had to do out there today. He may have even shied at the whip of Super Elegant as he went on by that runner.
OK, Hilt, an old Marvel Bomber Bill, the 9-year-old. The bay gelding by Air de France out of Lady Special, the Alzeo mare.
A Bill, Robert Smurden, of course, the trainer, General Baton second, G.I. Jane third. It just shows you're never too old. He's rising 10.
Yeah, look, words cannot describe this horse. He's an absolute freak. I think he gets belted over there with the whip in the straight as well, and he just attacks the line, the old fella.
He should have won on Anzac Day, shouldn't he? Because, you know, the age shall not weary.
At Kambla Grange, the covers were taken off a boom racehorse by the name of Bentley Biscuit, a 3-year-old by Pont Celeb, trained by Gay Waterhouse, and he was most impressive. Here's what he did. Here is Bentley Biscuit, his first start. He's heading to Queensland, possibly for a race like the Queensland Derby. Back in a moment.
Then John Silver, further back in the field, Sir Gates, but Bentley Biscuit, hands and heels, has raced away at the 200 metres. It's put up about 6 lengths. Sir Gates down the outside, running on, followed by John Silver. They said it was good, and they were right. Bentley Biscuit will bolt in by 8 lengths, thanks very much. Sir Gates second, John Silver third. And
The caller said they're expecting big things. They didn't let it down, did they?
Yeah, well, it was unbackable. Tony Brazel's been spruiking this horse out of the trials for a fair while now, and his judgment's proved correct here because he looks a real serious racehorse. Look, the figures are there. Yeah, look.
He's got a great action.
You don't see any... You know, forget about the opposition. This horse has broke a course record at his first start in a race, and it's an old course record. It's over 10 years old. Yeah. No,
it's pretty years on the line too.
Gay will probably take him to Queensland.
Queensland? Queensland?
He's a very, very impressive first starter, that's for sure. When they do it at their first start, you know they've got the goods.
Yeah, my word.
Yeah, the Candy Vale, Kylie Kwong, Overclock and Wanderer, 6, 1, 4 and 7. Alf Matthews, some very nice fillies in this Group 1.
Very good races, stood the test of time for many years now since it was actually put on the racing calendar, and it really has thrown up some outstanding class fillies over time. Terrific race, and not many really wanted in betting here. Nevertheless, 6 ahead of 4, 1 and 10. Cherie.
By Mick Price. Our live coverage of the...
On the move was Kylie Kwong. In the centre of those runners was Royal Drive, being followed by Vintner a length away. Any Dane now on the inside of Irish Darling. Second last game choice in Tiara at the tail. Overclock, the Lakewood Stud Stakes winner, approaching the 700 metres, leads by 5 lengths. Regal Oamaru running second. In third on the outside is Candy Vale. Then there's a length and a half away to Belzane, followed by Vega, Yuma Quest, Redeploy, Wanderer. It's being hard ridden. Moet Magic, followed by Kylie Kwong, sticking to the inside. Then a length and a half, 2 away was Royal Drive, scrubbed up. The rest are a long way back. At the corner, 350 metres left to go in the Schweppes Oaks. Overclock out by 3 lengths. Candy Vale giving chase. Here's Vega on the outside with a run, and Kylie Kwong, she saved a lot of ground. She's come through on the inside. Overclock grabbed by Kylie Kwong. Down the outside, Irish Darling's charging home. Irish Darling from near the rear over the top. Spread eagles them. Irish Darling took the Schweppes Oaks, a length and a half. Kylie Kwong, a length away third was Vega, then Overclock fourth, followed home by Wanderer, who got going late from Royal Drive. Candy
Wait is there on the Schweppes Oaks. Now our interview for the Suburban.
You know, it was, I thought she'd run well. I mean, I didn't bring her over here just to make up the numbers. That's why she's here. But yeah, I have to be quite honest and say she's surprised how she just powered the line at the end of that race. So she'll go on to the...
Irish Darling at any old odds. Paul Harvey aboard for Tony Vassal. Kylie Kwong second and Vega third.
Raced in transit there. Still didn't disgrace herself. Ran very well. I thought Danny Nicolic's ride from his gate on Kylie Kwong was very, very good indeed. And Irish Darling, well, look, it sat back, got the perfect run, and just came to the outside running on, and look, it just simply blitzed them. Look,
the average lot, aren't they?
House, it's still going to the Oaks.
Pretty average lot, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are, Ron. Look, to be honest with you,
Group 1
I've
race,
always believed that race is a very strong one. But this year, I do believe it's just down in class a touch.
She's by a Derby winner, Ivory.
Spirit of Tara and Afra, then Saxon and Shiloh, 2, 15, 3 and 8. Quick look at the market there before we head to Larry and check out the horses. Hit the Road and Willie Leica, both around 9 to 2. Then as we move them up, we'll find Afra, number 15 in the next bunch. And she is the favourite at $3.20. and then through to...
Yes, it sounds like it. And of course, that first half mile of the race gives you a lot of options.
Guineas, they're about to break. Afra is the widest runner. Lights are on. They're racing in the Guineas, and Afra from out wide began quickly, and so too did Kanatoshi Millions. Afra is going to be beaten for speed in the early part, getting back on the top corner, 900 to go, and there goes Afra up on the outside to join Western Bow in the lead. 2 to Fiery Sunset. Glen Sheen fourth on the fence from Grand Memories, 1 to Shiloh. The Real Rockethoko seventh on the inside, followed then by Next Size Up, and then Hit the Road, Saxon, Kanatoshi Millions, Spirit of Tara, Tapi. Over on the inside, Come Spanner from Don't Tell Clang, Special Times wide. So is Mahi Man, Cincinnati Girls a long way from them from Willie Laker. And last of all, the Great I Am. Western Bow and Afra come round the turn in the Guineas. They got 400 to go. Western Bow and neck in front of Afra. Glen Sheen trying to get out. Fiery Sunset. Shiloh's coming at them. Saxon and Hit the Road. Look for the way through. And here's Special Times and Cincinnati Girl. Shiloh and Fiery Sunset hit the lead. Hit the Road is coming, so too. On the outside, Special Times and Cincinnati Girl. Hit the Road and Saxon, they're together. Hit the Road and Saxon. Saxon's grabbed the lead. Saxon beat Hit the Road. Special Times third. Photo fourth. Cincinnati Girls, Shiloh. Willie Liker came home. And Spirit of Tara all in line. Then Mahi Man.
Over 1, Kylie. Got pretty good.
Jackson, Gerald Ryan, Scotty Seamer aboard. Hit the Road second. Special Times third. Al, noticed Willie Liker getting home there.
Yeah, I don't think he lost any admirers from a Derby point of view. He didn't have a lot of luck in the straight.
And for the ratings, it's Sedekram, Special Harmony, Oscar Warrior, Irish Rover, 3, 12, 2 and 5. A big field of 16 runners in the Group 2. And that's the field, Oscar Warrior, Sedekram. As we move them up, we'll also find that in commission is Sky Cuddle, 470 favourite, and Special Harmony there at 9.10.
Good level.
If you're just tuning in, the previous was the Queensland Guineas. It was taken out by Saxon, ridden by Scott Seamer and trained by Gerald Ryan. Number 3, it paid about $24. This is the Suburban
News. Now, they're racing now. Impaler from Barrier 2 was one of the first to go. Designer and Wager began in a big hurry too. Oscar Warrior, Western Brace are showing speed, and when they settle fully into stride, there goes Western Brace and Oscar Warrior up to join Wager, and Impaler holds the inside. Hidden Dragon comes over fifth, and Elias tailed off. Gee, the speed's hot. 800 metres left to go. Impaler and Oscar Warrior led together. 2 to Western Brace. Wager with a great run fourth on the fence, and Hidden Dragon is striding up fifth behind the speed. Dersey M's next on the fence, 1 to Amtrak, a couple Designer, then 4 and Floozy, 3 away came Irish Rover, Sky Cuddle, Special Harmony, Sedekram, then Roving L, Pentathon and Zagalia. Around the turn, 4.25 to go. Impaler and Oscar Warrior led. Wagers off the fence at the right time. Here's Hidden Dragon called upon. Dersey M looks for the way out, and then down the outside, Designer, Special Harmony from a long way back, but Wager sprint to the lead at the 200 metres mark. Dersey M's in the clear, coming after Wager now. Wager the leader, Dersey M the big danger. Dersey M's going to Wager, which is fighting. Wager, Dersey M's dying on the run. Wager beat Dersey M. Photo third, Designer or Special Harmony. The next home in the race was Roving Owl. Then came Sedekram, followed by Hidden Dragon, Sky Cuddle, then Impaler, Oscar Warrior. Further back in the field, Western Brace, and then came Pentathon, Forum Floozy, Amtrak, Irish Rover next to last, and last home Zagalia. Wade winner, the 3-year-old filly with 53.5 and a great ride by Dan Beasley. You couldn't put it
on Sky Racing, and dividends on your screen for the 7th event from Eagle Farm. The Sir Bernhard won by Wager, Dan Beasley at 10.73.50 over Dersey.
M second, Designer third, and perhaps Special Harmony's back, Al.
Yeah, her run was good. By the time we got to this race, the track was good. Wager had a lovely run on the fence, third the rail, and with the 53.5 for the 3-year-old filly under the weight for age scale, she had a lovely run. I mean, she's been a very good horse, Wager. She'd run, what, places in the Blue Diamond, the Sires, and I think the Champagne in Sydney. She's always been thereabouts in these races. Beasley gave her a lovely run, third the fence, and Impaler and Oscar Warrior went hard up front. Dersey had a nice, easy run That's him in the yellow colours. This Wager on the fence, white sleeves, white cap, coming off it now. Dersium's directly behind him. Hidden Dragon with the white sleeves, white cap, running fifth. He disappointed. And Special Harmonies on the extreme right-hand side of your screen, about to run home now. But Wager hit the front. I thought Dersium was going to beat it at the 100 metres mark. He got out in the clean. He went up to win. But Wager outstayed him fairly and squarely. And then Designer's run was okay. That's it, getting the third, and Special Harmony down the outside. So Declan ran his usual honest race. He got a home that bad either. But
is one of the best wins of the day. It is, as far as Alan Thomas is concerned. Eramine coming back in distance, the Derby winner over on the fence. Dan Beasley aboard. Want you to keep your eye on a horse by the name of Legendary Man. It's in this. It's back last in between runners. Watch it come home over the closing stages.
And Happier and Legendary Man are a long way back. Cataclysm leads for home, 350 out from Public Opinion. Rich Megadale tries to get off the fence. Eramine's trying to track it through. Then Daunting Lad, and here's Gumnuts. Cataclysm the leader. Here's Eramine. Eramine's getting out on the inside of Rich Megadale. Then Gumnuts and Sydney Express. But Eramine went to Cataclysm from Rich Megadale. Gumnuts. Eramine hit the lead. The money was right. He's streaking away, Eramine. The Derby winner. He wins brilliantly. Legendary Man came from last to run second. It's a photo third.
Yeah, well, he only had a couple of weeks off, and then we had to rush him to get him back here, because now he's got to go from 14 to 2,000, then 2,400. So he's always been
a while ago. Well done, Alan. Terrific training performance. And a sensational ride by Dan Beasley. Legendary Man's run was good at Al, and Sydney Express third.
Yeah, well, you know, gee, they put some money on him. He wrote him a treat. He was always going to get out on the inside of Rich Megadale. It was too strong for her. He just got her out of the road. Then he pounced on Cataclysm. Legendary Man storms down the outside late. Couple other fair runs. You know, the Derby's going to be a good race here. Eramine's going to go on. He's going to meet horses like Willie Liker. There's nothing wrong with Cedar Manners.
If he is right on Derby Day, he'll bolt the Derby up there. He's untouchable. In a class of his own as far as those horses are concerned. He does like...
Gregory Hickman, the winning trainer of Sir Dex, told me immediately after the race that they're not pressing on with the Queensland Winter Carnival. He's going to be spelled. He's due for a break, and they've now got their eyes on the course. The running of the Hollandale Stakes and Roman Arch, $4.70. He's quite a great deal shorter than that here at the Gold Coast. And Thursday night, when the flight was cancelled, and the stakes is not too far away. Roman Arch has been well supported on the tote, but he's been...
Roman Arch has been backed off the map in the last 3 or 4 minutes of betting. 8's open, off and racing, and Roman Arch left pretty quickly. So did Chinbok, and Can Grande began okay. Platinum Scissors and Devastating are far away from Raw Instincts. They're 700 from home in the Hollandale. It's Roman Arch, 3 parts the Platinum Scissors, breathing down his neck. 2 lengths away, Celtic Trial, Chinbok's on the rail. Then Portland Singer still wide from Ken Grande. Devastating's on the fence. Then Irish Rover, Parameter, Raw Instincts, Cedar Manor, and then Scenic Wells and Spirit of Tara. But it's Roman Arch and Platinum Scissors. They came round the turn, 400 to go. Roman Archie looks to be going okay. He's got away. He's more than a length of Platinum Scissors, followed by Chinbok. Devastating, and then comes Portland Singer. Roman Arch at the 300. A length Platinum Scissors still coming from Chinbok, Portland Singer and Devastating. But Roman Arch is still the leader. Platinum Scissors trying hard to pick him up. He's getting him now. Then Devastating. It's Platinum Scissors and Roman Arch. Platinum Scissors got his nose in front. He wins Platinum Scissors from Roman Arch. Devastating third. 4th home in the race was Cedar Manor. And then Raw Instinct, Chinbok, followed by...
Yeah, places. Well done, Gay Waterhouse. Dan Beasley aboard. Roman Arch, they're heavily backed favourites second, and Devastating from the point of view of Brisbane Cup. A nice third, Alf. Sorry, Alan.
Yeah, it was a good race. I think the 2 best horses fought it out. Gee, they put some money on Roman Arch. He did a good job. He only got here Friday night late. But Platinum Scissors, you know, he did win the Champion Stakes. He won the Norman Robinson. He ran in the Caulfield Cup. He's got a bit of background to him, and I thought his run at Doomben the other day was terrific, and that run really sharpened him up. And he was able to really outbull
in big time. Loved Portland Singer's run, loved it.
Ronnie, they came home in that run.
2 horses, Mr. Splinters the 7, and down the bottom Montcalm number 11, and a little bit as well for Bart Cummings Hope, Kempsky number 15. So there's been a few supported at double figure odds, but the joint equal favourites are 3D and Lions Gate for the SA Derby. Kempsky.
Elf, just quickly, Bart Cummings' horse. Who got out well from the inside. Summer Bet is showing good speed. Crying Storm trying to work through, and Lionsgate, given more rain early by King today, is going up on the outside of the aforementioned leaders. And then Montcalm, 3D, Kamsky over Storm. They're more than halfway in the South Australian Derby. 800 metres left to go. It's Pure Silence and Neck in front. Samar Bent came away from the inside. Lionsgate third. King of Slew, first option at the leaders. Comes out 3 wide, puts Montcalm off the track. Then came Mr. Splitter, saving ground on the rails. Rosden under immense pressure, so too Heavenly Pun. Tales of Triumph is sneaking home on the fence. Rock of Archers taking off around the outside from Penworth and Crying Storm, Duro Valley. 3D is back second last around the turn, and right around them Garbo Storm into the straight in the South Australian Derby. 300 metres to go. Lionsgate, Tales of Triumph. Gat has saved every inch of ground on Tales of Triumph. It hit the lead from Lionsgate. King of Slew on the outside. Then Mr. Splitter's running on. Tales of Triumph, the leader at the 100 from Lionsgate. In third place, Kamsky running on. Wider out, Garbo Storm. This has been a sensational ride by Paul Gatt. Tales of Triumph went inside everything and won the SA Derby by 2 1/4 lengths. I'd say Duro Valley's flashed up and grabbed Kamsky for second. It's a photo. Lionsgate there as well from Garbo Storm, Crying Storm.
Good shape, and she's very bright herself, so no, I think she'll run very well at those odds.
Okay, yeah, Larry, there's...
There, Paul Gatt.
Yeah, Larry, there's...
There, Paul Gatt was aboard. Duro Valley second and Kamsky third. The runner-up was good, Ron. Ron?
Yeah, don't talk about it. I was on it big time. It should have absolutely bolted in. It got into all sorts of trouble there, Duro Valley. If he ever gets balanced, he wins the race. But take nothing away from the winner. It was a good performance. He drew the outside, he saved all the ground and simply outstayed them.
Look, his performance was very...
And Greg Childs, who has ridden the double so far, at the moment, Super Elegant at 9 up on the tote. The favourite is Foreplay, very well supported. A little bit of support for Glamour Puss. And as the first horse moves in, Peter Mertens rides also a horse that's been well supported, Solar Antiquity.
Peter, pleased to be riding Solar Antiquity?
Yes, Ace. There's a mare I haven't been on before, but watched closely through Robbie Griffith's stable. Won very well last start, had a bit of authority about it, and, you know...
Ready now for the Goodwood Handicap. Off they go in the Goodwood. General Baton out fast. Strike line, good speed, showing pace, Solar Antiquity. Segments and also wider out, Songs of Vienna pressing forward in the race. Marwin Gold nearer the inside with Taos Pleasure. Then came Glamour Push, Chablais, Foreplay getting into a good position about 7th. Followed by Youth and then Great is Great. Further back a length away came Blur on the inside of Bomber Bill from Squilani. 2 lengths further away Via Delago. Super Elegant went back. Titanic Jack is at the rear. At the 700 metres, Taos Pleasure. General Baton a half on strike line. Marwin Gold, Youth, Foreplay. Solar Antiquity, Glamour Puss, followed by G.I. Jane. Then came Great is Great, Blur, followed by Chablais. Trying to improve around the outside, Songs of Vienna. Further back in the field came Segments from Squilani. Then Titanic Jack, Super Elegant, not in the race, and Via Delago. Straightening, 300 metres to go in the Goodwood Handicap. Taos Pleasure on the inside, led General Baton. Solar Antiquity, strike line. Youth getting out of the pack. Here's Glamour Puss down the outside. She's the one coming quickly. Taos Pleasure the leader, but Glamour Puss is overhauling them. Glamour Puss went on by and will take the Goodwood Handicap and Group 1 glory. Glamour Puss ran away, scored by 2. Solar Antiquity second. Third, I reckon, Chablais. Just in a photo there from Taos Pleasure, which may last for 4th. In that photo is Youth. And close up was Great is Great, Via Delago, G.I. Jane, followed home by Blur, Strike Line, Marwin Gold, Bomber Bill, then General Baton, and further back to Segments from Squilani, Songs of Vienna, Super Elegant, and Foreplay came in at the tail of the field, or near enough to, in 109.11.
Quick out of the machines, but then you've got nothing left at the finish, so we got to try and have him somewhere just there off the pace.
In a photo there,
she always felt comfortable, and you know, with that weight on her back and getting a bit of room top of the straight, I knew she'd quicken, which she did.
Race.
Yep.
Glamour Puss, Danny O'Brien, the trainer, didn't see the race yesterday. He was at a wedding, but by golly, he's got Glamour Puss going well. Cracker of a ride, I think Ron was just saying to me off air, by Stephen King. Solar Antiquity regarding Foreplay, but Alf, that's a great training performance by Danny, who we know is one of the best young trainers in the business, and a terrific ride by Stephen.
Yeah, look, Danny's an exceptional young trainer, and he's really come to the fore in the last couple of years. And look, he's in every state now. She's a winner in Adelaide, Melbourne, and Sydney. You were in the situation where you were able to see her win in Sydney, a Group 2 race up there. Came here. Look, it really just identified the good form out of the Alinghi race, the Group 1 race here back in February. And Solar Antiquity, look, it ran its heart out. I thought it's as good as it is. It's just 2 lengths behind Glamourpuss every time they meet, so it's just unfortunate, but she's got that Group 1 status.
Off the lead. They've got 1,400 metres to go, and Rasasa's putting pressure on Classy Choice. The tempo's very genuine for a 2,500 metre race. A length and a half Zane from Iris in the Glen. Kylie Kwong and Irish Darling, the 2 favourites in the betting, are at the rear end of the field. Vega on the inside from Wanderer. There's a move now. Kylie Kwong, she's taking off at the 800 metres. She's getting around them easily. These leaders have put up the flag. Royal Drive went to the lead in a race of changes now. Quickly, Kylie Kwong goes to second. Belzane followed her forward, then Vega. Royal Drive is still the leader though. Now Irish Darling coming into the action from Overclock. She got lost in the wash there from Iris in the Glen. And Belzane, it's Kylie Kwong at the 400. She's found the lead pretty easily. Irish Darling, though's the one coming on the outside. Between runners now, Vega's getting into the action from Vintner at the 250. The leader, Kylie Kwong. Vega's cruised up on the outside. Deeper, Irish Darling. Vega went to Kylie Kwong. Irish Darling shifting ground alarmingly. Kylie Kwong. Vega running out of room. And on the outside, Irish Darling is forging clear. She'll take the double. She'll win the Australasian and South Australian Oaks. Irish Darling, a revelation. She won by a length to Vega. It's a Vassal Quinella. Third in the race, Kylie Kwong from Belzane Vintner. Then Iris in the Glen, a gap to Wanderer. Followed home by Overclock, Royal Drive and...
Darling the 2 brings off the double. 3.30 the win and 1.60 for the place. The 3-year-old chestnut filly by Ivory's Irish out of the Geiger counter mare Sandy's Darling, Tony Vassal.
Seemed bright enough through Saturday night's run in OK fashion. Seemed bright. While overseas, Starcraft is expected to have his first run in the Queen Anne Stakes in the middle part of June. It's now likely that it will clash with Ratke, who won the big race that Elstrom contested in on Saturday night. Nashrawilla, who rode Elstrom, of course, is riding in England through until July. The word is Nash has a ride tonight at Wolverhampton over in England, so he's looking forward to that with high expectations. Demerger and is now back to favourite, Demerger number 12. Far Lane's...
Off they go, and first away from the centre of the line, Saturday Fever showing good speed. Far Lane looking for the lead. Dunn wants the top and he'll take Far Lane to the lead from De Capo. Rock of Archers presses on wider out, then... Fourth on the outside was Hugs Dancer, and a length away Saturday Fever. Esther Kareem's been widest of all from Serpentire. Then Demerger against the fence. A length and a half away came Elwood. From Later, the WA visitor. Serpentire getting going. A rather Pantani getting going around the outside, followed by Graduated. Further back to True Courses. Showgirl improving 3 wide with cover at the 1200. Being followed by Jean's Reign, starting a move intriguing on the outside. He's going up next around the outside there of Envoy, being followed by Sleepbank, and Tingy Rana is at the tail of the field. 1,000 metres to go. Far Lane, Dunn has rated this horse beautifully. He quickens the tempo. When they start to make their moves, he maintains control again. He's a length and a half in front of De Capo. In third place as they come by the 700 metres. Esther Kareem doing it tough. Still there over on the inside was Saturday Fever, followed by Pantani. Here's Intriguing taking off around the outside. Hugs Dances up about fourth as they come around the turn, followed by Envoy starting a run. It's coming home well. Later's under the whip. Then came Graduated near the inside. Far Lane around the corner. 400 metres to go in the Adelaide Cup. Saturday Fever off the inside. Then De Capo on the outside. Demerger got out. He's coming quickly, Demerger. Far Lane beaten off now by Demerger. Down the outside, Envoy. It's Demerger at the 200 metres, a length and a half. 2 in front. He's going away, Demerger. It's all Demerger and Blake Shin. He's careering away to win the Adelaide Cup. Demerger sprints hard the last bit. Won by 7. Second, Envoy, a length and a half away. Third was Intriguing, a big run. Fourth, A Photo. Later, Pantani, and then De Capo, followed in by Tingy Rana.
prepared?
That's right. We set her for the Adelaide Cup this preparation, and she raced a little dowly earlier in her preparation as we were training her a little different. But yeah, we've seen the rewards here today.
First trainer in over 100 years.
Bolter was third, so that was the Adelaide Cup.
Geez, there's been some horses over there improve their form sharply, and this is one of them, Demerger.
She was showing it in lead up to this though, Richard.
Oh, not like this, Andrew. Give it a rest.
Richard, first time to the 3200. It's like that filly in Sydney, in Brisbane yesterday, Cinquecento. But once they get to a journey that they enjoy, I tell you what, they get a second win and they keep producing. It was pretty spectacular. A lot of people are saying, oh yeah, it might have beaten them easy, but it actually ran very, very quick time too. And Danny O'Brien is seriously considering a Melbourne Cup.
Good luck to him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's a great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's a great effort to win the Goodwood and the Cup. It hasn't been done since about 1894, I think. So
there you go.
That's credit where it's due.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Very good. South Australia. Silent Witness was in quest of 18 successive wins in Hong Kong yesterday, when so close to doing so, but the stablemate just knocked him out from that extraordinary feat. Bullish Luck. This was a great ride too. Talk about that in just a moment. Here's the Champions Mile. Silent Witness in front.
Next, Bullish Luck coming to the inside. Silent Witness, he's cuddling at it. Bullish Luck coming through, will sneak late. Ain't Here coming on from the Duke. Right there also, trying to battle it out. Super Kid, he has to ask Silent Witness, he left. Here comes Bullish Luck, comes to run him down. The crowd roar, the roof of the grandstand rattles. Bullish Luck draws up, beats the champion. Bullish Luck beats Silent Witness. Ain't Here third. Bowman's Crossing, Super Kid, the Duke. Next in town.
We talk about good rides. That was a good ride.
That was a sensational ride by Mosse here. He was three back the fence. He charges through. Yeah, just gets a bit of a bump and gets him tight there and just nabs the champ on the line. He was always going to be vulnerable at a mile. He's just too brilliant. He was gallant in defeat, beaten by a stronger horse. Will probably travel to Japan and take on the second leg of this challenge. Silent Witness, what do they do now? Obviously back to sprinting distances. Is it time to travel? Maybe now's the time.
Well, he was brave in defeat, Silent Witness. You could say nothing more than that or nothing less, because he set some pretty good sectionals. It was a solidly run race, which probably set it up a little bit. A beautiful ride from behind. Ain't Here, the former Australian horse trained by David Hayes up there. He battled on well. Delzeo, the local horse Robert Smurden trained, he faded and finished back near the tail of the field. He really never looked threatening at any stage. But, oh, look, he's a superstar sprinter, no doubt. They've just found his limit. You know, he's capable at 1,600 metres, but not dominant.
Richard, I've got to pick you up on Del.
Into the 2-1 and people want to lay him.
And 9-2 now, Antonia's pass. That's quite good from 5-1 and 11-1 top price at the bottom. Tafa.
So there you go, Rakti now 15-8 favourite, 9-2 Antonia Pius, La Vida Calori, 11-2, back into 7-1 from 8 is the Australian horse Tarfal, 11.
Marlon, the Australian galloper Elvstrom, begins best and leads early in the hands of National Willow, with Rakti now taking charge on the far side. Philip Robertson, Rakti always a powerful galloper. Grand Emporium in the Alderness. Rakti continues to race down the centre field here at Newbury, leads by a couple of lengths now. Elvstrom on the near side of Grand Emporium, and then making some ground, La Vida Calori with Hurricane Allen. Behind these then is Mac Love over on the far side. Arakan and Antonius Pius is the back marker, but only about 5 or 6 behind the leader Rakti. Now they're inside the final 3 furlongs. The favourites in front, Rakti. He's got a length and a half on them. They begin to push and shove behind, and he's still going very strongly in front. It's Rakti now shaken up by Robinson. Mac Love on the far side. Elvstrom struggling to go with the leader. Then Arakan from the rear, and Hurricane Allen on the near side. But entering the final furlong, it's Rakti extending here. Rakti by 4-5 lengths. Mac Love running a huge race in second. But this is a Rakti romp here at Newbury, and Rakti wins the Lockinge, pulling up. In second, Mac Love. Tight third between Hurricane Allen and Elvstrom, who was rallying well, the Australian horse, from Arakan. Grand Emporium, one of the last across the line. Well,
there's always a question mark with Rakti, this 7-4 favourite and winner of the Lockinge, whether he's going to be on his best behaviour. First time out, fresh, seems a good time to catch.
Winning lighted with that. This is this terrific horse, his 6th Group 1 win, his 4th Group 1 in the UK after previous Group 1 success in the...
Elvstrom, not disgrace for the Australians. More improvement will come from that. Used when it gets used to this country, returned to 7-1. But that
second, but this is a Rakti romp here at Newbury, and Rakti wins the Lockinge, pulling up. In second, Matlov, tight third between Hurricane Allen and Elvstrom.
I like that, a Rakti romp.
Rakti. Now, he is half a nutcase, Rakti.
Is he?
Yeah. He's a bit, you know, he's got a few wheels going around in his head, but he has got enormous ability, and this shows you how good the top European horses are when they get their mind on the job. Watch him here. He just spread eagles them. Now, they're bolters running second and third. They're long shots, right? And this horse is in a class of his own. Elvstrom, he looked like he'd drop out, but he battled on the last 100 metres, and maybe, you know, the 1,600 metres was just a bit short and they left him a little flat-footed when they went. But, when you're talking about Rakti, you're talking about, you know, a world-class horse.
That was a track record.
Oh, at any time.
They smashed the track record for the mile at Newbury by a second and a half. The previous track record was 1:35.19. Elvstrom, in running 4th, ran 1:34.79. He's jarred up.
They're racing in the Singapore Airlines International Cup, and Apollo beat them out. He's going to be ridden straight to the lead. In second spot is Seeking the Dyer. Raoul is coming across. Star Over the Bay beaten for speed. He's back in 4th as they hit the winning post the first time. Mummify's drifted back in the field. He's in front of 3.
I didn't spend any petrol at all in the run. At about the 600, I was travelling that well, and they had gone hard. You know, it was a recipe for horses to drop back quickly.
Mummify's coming to the outside, approaching the home turn, and the rest of them are not in it. They're headed by Turfeld and Shagadelic around the turn, and Stucker set go. Apollo is kicked away. It's Apollo about 2.5 lengths in front, but here, about 2.5 lengths in front, but here comes Phoenix Reach and Mummify. Phoenix Reach went to Apollo. Mummify, Alexander Gold Run's going for the rails. Mummify for Australia is coming after Phoenix Reach. Then Alexander Gold Run. It's Mummify on the outside, just in front of Phoenix Reach, and Mummify's going to win it. Mummify for Danny Nikolic and Lee Friedman by a half a length. Phoenix Reach second, Alexander Gold Run third.
This horse hasn't been showing his true form back in Australia because the tracks haven't suited him. He got the conditions tonight, and when he came around the corner, we just exploded. We knew he was going to win.
And what about Lee and Anthony Friedman? I'm sure it's
some prize money.
I believe he goes just about into the top 10 now of horses of all-time prize money. I think, I can't remember exactly, I think it's up around the 5 million mark.
Unbelievable.
He's done a huge job, Mummify, for a $40,000 purchase at an Adelaide Magic Million sale. Yeah. And well done to Anthony Friedman. He doesn't get a lot of... You know, he stands in Lee's shadow a bit, but I tell you what, plenty of work done by Anthony Friedman behind the scenes that doesn't get...
And I tell you what, you know, I reckon we've got to take it.
Been 10,000 at Group 1. Shamika has been heavily supported on course. She's the favourite, number 12, ahead of Takeover Target. And let's have a look at these top sprinters as they parade for the 10,000. Larry, we start with Pateza, fresh after his win in the Doncaster Handicap.
Yes, he does look particularly well. He's the quality runner. He's going to get back, and so the alley's not a problem. But he does in the race, Pateza. Just needs a touch of luck in the straight, but we're seeing this today.
Like to see him win this one today?
Oh, I'd like to see him run a place, actually. That would be good.
There were certainly excuses last time, weren't there?
Oh, some, yeah.
Good luck with him today.
OK, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for your time there, Joe. Yes, he's Alan Thomas for the Weight for Age Doomben 10,000.
In a capacity. It's open and they're off and racing in the 10,000 and Takeover Target and Shamika and Regimental Gal with the first 3 out. And when they settle fully into stride, it's Regimental Gal in the middle, just shading Takeover Target. Shamika straight into the box seat, third on the inside from Legally Backram, Sky Cuddle, followed by Pateza. Top markers deep and then Star Shiraz, St. Basil and Consular on the fences last. 700 metres to go. Regimental Gal a length over. Takeover Target. Proudly Aggro out deep on the track. Shamika fourth on the inside. They're followed then by Wager, Legally Bay, Only Words, Our Egyptian Rain, Red Oog, Oscar Warrior, Rich Megadale. Then Showbiz Kid, followed by Yell, and further back Sky Cuddle and Patessa's picking up ground. Regimental Gal leads for home. Takeover Target after her. Then Proudly Aggro, Shamika next from Legally Bay, Wager, and Patessa's coming down the outside, and Red Oog is bursting through. Takeover Target hit the front. Here's Red Oog, Shamika, Our Egyptian Rain, Patessa's down the outside. Our Egyptian Rain and Red Oog grab the lead. Red Oog beat Our Egyptian Rain and Takeover Target. Patessa's fourth, then Showbiz Kid, followed by Shamika. The next time in the race, then Oscar Warrior, Consular, Yell, followed by Wager. Further back in the field came St Basil, which flashed home between runners. Then came behind those Legally Bay, followed by Regimental Gal, Star Shiraz, Sadek from Proudly Aggro, Top Mark, and last home Rich Megadale tailed off as Only Words. Huey Bowman, he won the Doomben Cup on Defier here last year. And Our Egyptian Rain runs second for the 8th time at Group 1 level, and she had the race won again. This is a replica of Super Elegant.
Was one of the most exciting, and with about 50 metres to go, I think they could hear a cheering over at Eagle Farm. Red Oog, Our Egyptian Rain, another Group 1 second. Unbelievable. Just experienced the Group 1 feeling. Tell me what it's like.
Oh, just fantastic. I could never imagine what it would be like. It's so great. You know, it's been a lot of hard work with this horse, but it's just all worth it. It was a fantastic win. Yeah, it'll be fantastic.
I know you've got to go, but Stradbroke Handicap, is that next on the agenda?
Yeah, if he comes through this all right, it may be, but he may need a rest after that. It was such a big win.
Well done, Joey. He looks the twin of Scotty Miller, doesn't he?
He sure does. He's got a few more wrinkles as a racehorse trainer now, but he got that Group 1 under his belt, and well done.
Well
Excellent
done. Huey
work.
Bowman aboard. We'll talk to Hugh about it in a moment. Our Egyptian Rain second, did it again, and Takeover Target. So gallant in defeat third. Let's hear from the beaten jockey fence at the 100 when Our Egyptian ranged up.
I was a little concerned with the way she came to me, because she came to me with quite a burst, but when I saw the cheekers there that she wears, and I knew what horse it was, I wasn't so worried, because she's done it before. But
that's funny.
As good a horse she is, she just seems to refuse to want to win, and she loomed to me. She was going to go straight past me, and in the end I was pulling away from her.
You could have ridden her too, couldn't you?
I rode in a trial, Shamika's trial, actually about a fortnight ago.
She didn't seem to trial any good.
I thought she was disappointing, and I've had a lot of luck on Red Oog. Obviously, it was a bit of a choice to make, but I felt that on her trial that she couldn't win it. So I thought, well, Red Oog, I didn't think he was well placed at weight for age, but I knew he was honest. Yeah. And I've had a bit of an association with him, and
and Our Egyptian Rain and then Patessa. Now, Our Egyptian Rain, this is a replay of Super Elegant and Our Egyptian Rain from last year, and Red Oog won the money. Patessa probably run. Guy Walter admitted to me after the last race, he got underneath his neck, Patessa. He was a half a run short, but he'll be ready Stradbroke Day. And the half a run short, but he'll be ready Stradbroke Day. And the run of St Basil come Eagle Farm, I thought was enormous. Takeover Target.
I hope she wins the Stradbroke just for just for her. But I love Takeover Target's run there. I didn't think he could win coming into the race. Second up, 13.50. Proudly Aggro become a pest mid-race, come out, and he was sort of the sandwich in the middle. I thought there was a lot of merit in Takeover Target's performance.
What about Patessa's run?
What
about Patessa's run?
Yeah, it was good.
How good was it for the Stradbroke? A big track, when he gets to a big track and he looked like he just
you've got to consider the weights. You've got to consider the weights in the Stradbroke.
Oh, gee, I like the way he went to the line.
OK, boys.
Panel Chairman's Handicap, a Group 3 race over 2,020 metres, and runners are 2,020 metres, and runners are on the track and heading off to the start. The favourite on track is Zingham, number 3, trained by Guy Walter. He's a very promising stayer. I mean, he's had 18 starts, but I think he's really starting to... It's in a full points. 870 on the tab, but it's been well supported here at Doomben.
Gee, Zingham will have to do some work in Penitentiary. Gee, Zingham will have to do some work. He's back second last on the fence and last Jeremiah. They're on the top. Forest Jim, 3 to Ra Relenza. The Grey Classic Carla midfield on the fence, then Sunday Service. Volante Etoile on a high. Further back on the field then came Lachlan River. Zingham is still fourth last. Coming to the turn from Penitentiary and Jackman last Jeremiah. On the corner, 400 to go. Natural Woman first around the corner, about ahead in front of Chinbok. 2 Desert Flight, Folksini, Classic Carla, Sunday Service on a high. Lachlan River is next. Natural Woman leads 300 to go. Length and a half to Chinbot. Then Volksini, Classic Carla getting up on the fences, starting to rattle. Natural Woman and Chinbot with Classic Carla. Look at Zingham. Zingham's come from nowhere. Zingham's grabbed Classic Carla close to the line. Oh, that's a big win. Zingham over Classic Carla. Chinbok third in front of Natural Woman, fourth from Falante Etoile. The next time was Penitentiary, and then came Volksini, followed absolutely torpedoed to the line. Zingham.
Minutes, the first event from Tamworth.
It got the rails run, Chinbok third. Hugh, what were you thinking coming to the home turn? There's a wall of horses in front of you.
Well, I've ridden the horse a lot. I know him well, and I knew he could sprint if I got the break. So I had a look to my outside, approaching the 400, and there was no benefit whatsoever going out there. So I just sat and hoped for a split, and it came, and the horse did the rest for me.
See, I've been giving you a rap the last few weeks, saying you've been riding well, and that about for the 500 metre mark, I'd given up on you.
Oh, had you?
Well, I just thought he'd slaughtered this. But you knew what you were doing. Yeah. You got beautiful inside run there. I don't think the horse would have won if you hadn't taken those inside runs.
If I went out, I was doing so I thought I'll get through here.
That's what I like.
Well, he ran 2 mile. Huey, I was just going to say something down from Melbourne, because I actually did support you on Zingham, and may I just say...
Did it?
Now, I'm just wondering, with Guy Walter, I mean, you have a plan set for a horse. He's obviously had this horse planned to go from there to the O'Shea to the Cup, to the Brisbane Cup. You know, big risk. I know on his win yesterday you've got to be thinking Doomben Cup, but big risk to start changing plans, isn't it? That means he's got to run 3 weeks in a row, then go 9 days to the 2 mile race. So I'll take a punt here. I reckon he won't take on the Doomben Cup. I reckon he'll stick to the original plan. See ya.
Favouritism there at $4.50. Devastating. Good run last start at $6. Pacific Dancer also in good form. Platinum Scissors last start winner. Zingham still there, may back up.
As we get closer to the Cup, of course, but this is one of the features, the BTC Sprint, and recapitalise the 100 race field here, no doubt. Oscar Warrior at 15. Go down to Dersey M at 13. Foreplay at 6.50, recapitalise 7.10, Ballet Society at 7.10. And then further down the list, 7.90 about Designer. Enthusiast given a chance too with... OK, in the meantime, there's the market order, Foreplay in front of recap.
Looks terrific in the enclosure. Should get a nice run from the 11 alley. I don't see that as being a...
Youthful from the outside and River to the Sea with the 2 best to go. Enthusiast and Sovereign Express began in a big hurry, and Ballet Society is going forward. On settling down, 60 to go. Sovereign Express a half to Ballet Society. Enthusiast third. Amtrak on the fence, fourth from River to the Sea. Then Recapitalise, followed then by Bull Matador. A couple Designer ridden hard, and then comes to Sumai, Youthful, Faith, Value, and further back as 4 players, they thunder the bend. Sovereign Express the leader, Ballet Society after it, followed by Enthusiast. Amtrak trying to get into the clear, River to the Sea. Recapitalise is looking for a run. It's Ballet Society going to the lead, but River to the Sea's the big danger. Recapitalise coming late. River to the Sea after Ballet Society, which is fighting on. Ballet Society and River to the Sea, they hit the line, and Ballet Society and nose, I think, River to the Sea. Photo third, Recapitalise, Prominent, Designer got home. So did Youthful, Face, Value close up, Foreplay ran home. It's a big photo here, but I think you'll find that the one on the fence, Ballet Society, will just get home here.
770 and 290 defeated River to the Sea and Recapitalise, and $3,171.
Well, good on you, Pat. Pat, was it work?
Pat rides at work. We spoke to Pat on 2KY yesterday, and I'll credit this filly.
Yeah.
She's a good filly, this.
Yep.
She lived in the shadow of a lingy there for a while, but...
Yeah, it's gone that way, and horses that got back, they had no hope yesterday, and I was back there, and we've all spotted one that we thought was a pretty good run.
Chablais was warming into the race like a horse that was going to charge into the prize money somewhere, and just got stood on his head and took no part the last 200 metres. Could be one to follow. He's a nice horse, Chablais.
Market for the race, it's 29 minutes off. Perlin, a rating special, Platinum Scissors, Cedar Manor and Natural Blitz, 5, 2, 13 and 1. And if you're just tuning in, Bush Honey is a late scratching scratching from the race, along with the original scratching of Penitentiary. And the jockeys are just about to be introduced to the crowd. They're just coming out now. Perlin's the TAB favourite, $3 and on start time. And Portland Singer, of course. Neville McBurney's good mare is there at $6.40. That's what they're paying 28 minutes out for the Doomben Cup. Perlin at 3. For the 4X Gold Doomben Cup of 2,200 metres. They'll be moving in shortly. The favourite on track remains Perlin, but he has been adrift.
They're ready. The gates open and they're off and racing. Devastating was slow to move at the start. In fact, he was last out of the gates. Perlin from barrier number 2 was the first to go. Headed quickly by Natural Woman. Portland Singer dropping over and behind them. Cedar Manor. Here's Chinbok coming down the outside and Platinum Scissors is going forward. They're being followed then by Natural Blitz. Pacific Dancer shuffle back on the rails. Then Devastating and Raw Instinct. At the 600 metres mark, Natural Woman a half in front. Platinum Scissors putting the acid test. So is Chinbok on the outside. Perlin needs a touch of luck. Here's Cedar Manor moving up. So is Natural Blitz. Pacific Dancer away from the fence from Portland Singer. Devastating Raw Instinct in the straight in the Doomben Cup. Natural Woman tackled by Platinum Scissors. Chinbok, Cedar Manor, Natural Blitz on the outside, and now Perlin's getting a split near the fence at the 200. Natural Blitz went up on the outside with Cedar Manor, Platinum Scissors and Perlin on the rail. Perlin got through on the inside of Platinum Scissors and Natural Blitz. Perlin in front, a pearl of a ride too. Perlin wins the Doomben Cup from Platinum Scissors, tight for third. Natural Blitz or Pacific Dancer. The next time, Portland Singer, followed by Cedar Manor, Raw Instinct, Chinbok, Devastating, and last time, Natural Woman. And Tickle has broken down, was pulled up in the back straight.
Of Perlin. This horse is a very, very promising style, Larry Olsen.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Matt. He showed that at the Gold Coast, and I think it was a smart move by Lloyd Williams to put the blinkers on this horse because he did get lost in the round.
And what, just before you go, Graham, what do you think in the spring? Would he be more a Cox Plate? Would you be looking at that or the Cups?
Any Group 1's good.
Yeah, well, there you go. Graham Rogerson, well done, Graham. Dan Nikolic aboard, Platinum Scissors. He finally had a 2 weeks break there as well.
Yeah, he had the 2 weeks.
Great performance, what do you think of it?
2 weeks leading into that. He's tough. He's been up a while now, and the blinkers certainly did the trick, and it was a great ride. He's a good horse, Pearl, and he's a very, very good horse.
I thought it was a very good Group 2 field, Ronnie, and that's about as where I'd put it. See, I don't just.
So you're saying the winner can't win another Group 1?
I'll say this. I think the winner's capable of winning a very good Group 1, but he beat a Group 2 field there yesterday. Natural Blitz and Platinum Scissors, they're Group 2 horses, and I thought Natural Blitz probably needed to be a bit closer than he was. There were so many riders who were just so happy to get back yesterday.
That's not his style. That's not his style.
It's not his style. Very unlike Graham Rogerson, Ronnie, to not have a definite target in the spring is highly unusual. What do you think that means?
Well, they'll take everything on. They'll take everything on. Okay. He could win anything. I'll tell you the horse's run I liked in.
Good. Okay, now all of our team at Newcastle. Now, the last at Doomben's a good race. It's the Triple M Rough Habit Plate over 2,020 metres. The odds-on favourite on course is Eramine, number 1, but there's been very good support for Activation. We know that Dan Nikolic is riding in a great mindset after not only winning the Doomben Cup, but proposing to his girlfriend, of which he's accepted. So perhaps Dan Nikolic might be able to get the
numbers of 1, 5...
Gates open, off and racing, and Eramine was one of the first to come out of the gates. Ken Grande, Aqua d'Amour began okay. So too did a Tarpey, and here is Activation coming across quickly, and Eramine's going to settle just off the speed. Social Gathering's going up. Activation leads at the line the first time. Tackled by Social Gathering, and Eramine's over. He's racing in third position. He's about to go. Social Gathering the leader. Only a half length to Eramine, keeping him close company. A length and a half to Activation on the inside of Mahi Man. Poor old Roving Owl out in that limb, 3 deep. Then a Tarpey, followed by Aqua d'Amour. Groundswell taking off on the outside, then Can Grande, Marmaluke, Argyle, Last Lords are leaping. Spirit of Tara shuffle back the third last as they come to the turn, and a long way back, Royal Ninja and Hanalei Bay. Around the corner, 350 to go, and the Hot Pot Aramine sprinted to the lead. Mahi Man second, Roving Owl third on the outside, then comes over on the inside, behind those came Activation, and down the outside is a Tarpey running home, but Eramine clear. Activation's in the clear, Eramine the leader. Activation's gunning him down. Eramine's fighting. He'll have to. He's just in front. Oh! Eramine and Activation with a nose between them on the line. It's a photo for third. Roving Owl, huge performance in it with Spirit of Tara and Aqua d'Amour. Then Argyle last field in an absolute cliffhanger. And number 5, Activation's got up to win, Danny Nikolic. Number 5.
That's good. I never got out till late, and he showed a really good turn of foot. He's definitely Derby class.
Well, we pointed it out last week. It just had no luck. Went to the line hard, held Activation. Just nailing Eramine right on the post hour with Roving Al, a big run for third. But Activation, it's pretty smart nonetheless.
Oh, very good horse. A lot of people were asking why Chris Muntz didn't pull the whip on Eramine. Now, you can see when they turn into the straight, he's riding hands and heels. Activation will come off his back now with the blue with the white cap. Roving Al's outside them. He's another story in a moment. Now, Muntz rides hands and heels. Activation got after him pretty quickly. Then he couldn't get past him, and Muntz elected to still go hands and heels, not to pull the whip. I'm just wondering whether goes quickly to him here. He charges to him, but then he can't go any further. Muntz hands and heels. I think Muntz thought he had him beaten. You wouldn't be surprised he even got the photo. I think
he was definitely caught napping there. I don't know whether it made any difference hitting him or not. Geez, I like that winner.
Maybe the sectional time says it, Ron. I know the Doomben Cup was 2200, but they ran home in 3609. In that last race, they've run home in 34.73, and he was out in front rolling along, Eramine.
I tell you what, there were half a dozen of the worst rides you will ever see in that race, merely by the fact that the course was racing the same way all day. Danny Nikolic had worked it out. He jumped from barrier 14, went straight forward and got onto the fence up on the speed. What were the half a dozen blokes that were just happy to ease back and get back second and third last and fourth last? What did they think they were going to do? What, defy the pattern of the entire day?
I'm wondering whether he'll run him in the Derby Activation.
50-50, Ron. He's still tossing it around Lloyd Williams and Graham Rogerson this morning. It's not a certainty.
Okay. He's a star.
Roving Al was a good run there. I've been following it a little bit.
We pointed that out. You're spot on. Some racing yesterday at Rosehill Gardens, and of course Bentley Biscuit, this exciting youngster, was won what?
3 from 3.
Yeah.
He stepped up to 1500 yesterday. They handed it to him up front. He travelled sweetly and relaxed well and sprinted home his last 633. Far from impressive, but...
I thought he might have been at his distance limit yesterday. He looked to me like a horse, a good sprinter in the making, maybe a top-class one in the making, but maybe 1500, 1600 might be beyond his limit. We just
time will tell, but...
it's only his third start. I mean...
Look, he got the job done well.
Ourselves.
Not...
Chocks Away dominates at $1. Race number 6, the feature race. This is the Champions and Chater Cup. Scratchings 3 and 4. Vengeance of Rain is the clear favourite at $1.30. So it's Vengeance of Rain, Group 1 winner. Best Gift is the second pick at $11. Former Queensland jockey Michael Rodd has the ride.
2,400 metres, the last leg of the Triple Crown, the Hong Kong Champions and Chater Cup, and your caller, Darren Flindell.
Away they go, the field at 9 off in the Champions and Chater Cup, and Supercomb flopped out to the tail of the field. Summerland is showing plenty of speed. Sutton, in fact, is not interested in the front. And here, a length to Roosevelt. Delpesh getting itchy fingers now, and Vengeance of Rain, he starts to stoke him up, and the Derby and QE2 Cup winner comes to the outside and starts to rope them in, completely leaving Precision in his wake. And Supercomb still patiently last as Fred tries to pinch the brake on the bend. He slipped away on Saturn. Got 2.5 clear from Summerland giving chase. Best Gift is off the fence running on. Then Ain't Here and Vengeance of Rain pulling to the outside, and here he comes. It's Sutton starting to tie up. Best Gift and Vengeance of Rain pulling in the ground. Sutton still in front. Vengeance of Rain and Best Gift. It's Sutton, Vengeance of Rain and Best Gift in the centre. He hits the lead, Vengeance of Rain. Best Gift is doing his best to go with him, but Vengeance of Rain's got the class. He wins the Champions and Chater by 3/4 to Best Gift second, Saturn third. Supercombed into fourth, then Summerland from Ain't Here, Roosevelt Precision, and Floral Dynamite finished last. Vengeance of Rain, number 1, the class shining through, defeating the game for you. He's been able to sustain that long run. Many times there's been a quick sprint, a quick acceleration by Vengeance.
Good evening, events. This is the Group 2 Grand Prix Stakes for 3-year-olds over 2,100 metres, and a few of these will be well and truly backing up in the Derby next week. Willie Leica certainly will be, all going well. He's the rating special times coming up in 16 minutes time, and as I told you earlier, Willie Leica is a very firm favourite on course. He's not weights. We've got all Cincinnati Gals overs on the TAB. She singles overs at the moment. That's for the Grand Prix Stakes, a good race for the 3-year-olds, repeating that Tony Patello is now on number 8, Spur Us On, and Dan Nicholas, which is Willie Like a 14.
Behind them, followed by Rule Ninja, Spirit of Tara trying to come over. Then comes Spur Us On. Cincinnati Gal's got them. He's on, and Willie Like is last of all. He's 10 or 12 from the leader. 6:50 to go. Special time, Zavenska. Lachlan River outside those to make a line of 3. Storm Hill on the fence. Spirit of Tara getting a good run in the middle. Then Rule Ninja. Here's Cincinnati Gal coming to the outside. Then Ty Show, Tarpy Saxon, and Willie Like will come to the extreme outside. Zavenska hit the front. 300 to go. Lachlan River's after him. Cincinnati Gal, Rule Ninja, Spirit of Tara, Tarpy, and Willie Like is coming down the outside. Lachlan River hit the lead from Cincinnati Gal. Spur Us On, Tarpy, and Willie Like is finishing brilliantly on the outside. Willie Like and Tarpy and Spur Us On in the middle. Spur Us On's grabbed the lead. Spur Us On has beaten Willie Like. Tarpy probably third in front of Lachlan River, followed by Saxon. Then came Storm Hill, Gaze On, Taisho. The next time Cincinnati Gal. Spur Us On. Tony Patello has picked up the ride at the expense of Stephen King. And Spur Us On is...
At Canterbury, over 1,550, it was expected this would be... Race 4, here are the official totes. Spur Us On beat Willie Leica and Tarpy, and...
Certainly has. Rodney Oliver was a jockey, I believe, at Newcastle, if memory serves me correctly, some time back. Willie Leica second, and Tarpy third, and of course Tony Patillo was aboard. It was coming off a win at Canterbury recently, so it really stepped up to the mark in winning a Group 2.
Willie Leica had the bad gate, had to go back to last, had to chase from too far back. Died on his run 50 metres out and had another go at the line and just failed. And he'll go to the Derby next week, and if he draws a gate, I think he'll win.
Lachlan Rivers running that was good too.
Yeah, Lachlan Rivers very good. Yep. Covered ground, ended up 3 deep outside the speed. Yeah, no, he did race very well. Very good performance.
He was the best run in the race by a country mile, Lachlan River. He drew 15, Nikolic tried to go back, he grabbed the bit, he raced 3 and 4 deep around them, he was still 3 deep, no cover, the 2 leaders folded up, and he was a survivor. I thought that was a sensational performance. I'm worried about Willie.
Horses. Eagle Farm, the size produce, Virage de Fortune, Diamonds on the inside, Testifiable and Lancet, 16, 2, 5 and 12, with 16 being a rating special. That's $6.20 is massive overs. It's a firm favourite here at Eagle Farm. Now, Mark Walker has brought a very interesting 2-year-old over to Australia, Darcy Brahma, and Mark is with Stephen Hewlett.
Well, certainly one of the most expensive horses racing anywhere in Australia today is this 2-year-old Darcy Brahma. Mark, just remind us of how much he cost at the sales.
1.1 million Kiwi, so fair bit.
Applications, here's Al for the Group 1 sires.
Yeah, great field this year in the size. Testifiable's been sensationally backed here on track. You've probably... Racing now. Virage de Fortune was the first to leave the gates, and Lancet began quickly, and Foolish was well away. And when they settle fully into stride, Virage de Fortune is the leader. De Beers is rushing forward on the outside. Lancet's going to settle third. Testifiable is fourth in the early part. Rashini's out deep, and Bullmore's next on the inside of Foolish, and Darcy Red, and then Upilio, and Ready As is last of all. 700 metres to go. Virage de Fortune and Rashini led together. Racing third, Lancet on the inside of De Beers, and Kincharm followed then by Darcy Brahma, Bullmore. Testifiable's back about 8th, turning for home. Diamonds on the inside, trying to get to the outside, and then comes Nabaraz. Well in the straight, Virage de Fortune leads. Lancet trying to get off the fence, then De Beers, Rashini, Kincharm, Darcy Brahma, and Testifiable coming down the outside, but Virage de Fortune, she took off at the 200. She raced away by 3. De Beers second on the outside. Testifiable running home, but it's all Virage de Fortune, and Virage de Fortune will bolt in. Virage de Fortune won from either Testifiable or Upilio. It's a photo for 4th. Foolish prominent with Darcy Brahma, Katsitas, then Ready As getting home, then De Beers. Diamonds on the inside. Lancet, Bullmore, Nabaraz, Thin and Crispy, Aristocracy, Kincharm, low profile. Rashini next to last, and last home in the race was Red. Virage de Fortune has absolutely left them standing, trained by Bruce McLaughlin and ridden by Greg Childs.
No, we know she can.
And the TJ Smith, 1600, how are you feeling about that?
90% not running in it, you know. But I'll have a look at it. I never make decisions in 5.
Or I believe, shortly, but Virage de Fortune Greg Charles aboard, just fractionally outside of the race record. It's by Anabar out of Virage. She never won a race, Virage, but Virage is by Kenmare out of Emancipation. Yeah. So the bloodlines are certainly there. Upilio second, Testifiable third. Let's hear from the beaten jockeys, and we'll start off with Brad Stewart. TJ Smith is ready as. Drew barrier 20 and Hugh had to take it back to the tail of the field. It was in a clump of them about for 4th, 5th and 6th. But how...
Charles gave a lovely run in front. See the horse second last with the red cap, red armbands? That's Ready As. I want to be on it Monday week on the TJ Smith. Some good runs. Virage to Fortune leads around the corner. I thought De Beers raced okay. That's him in the pink going into second. Darcy Brahma's in the orange behind him. Testifiable's got the white shadow roll. And a couple other good runs. Upilio's coming home, and the horse on the extreme outside in the yellow and red's Casitas, and Ready As has got the red cap flashing through over towards the inside. But Virage to Fortune was in a race of its own. You know, Upilio got up to run second, Testifiable third, and there's a couple of good runs from a mile point of view for the TJ Smith, but one act affair.
Alan, it's been...
She was absolutely brilliant, the winner, and I think it's a very good move putting in the paddock with the confidence sky high. I don't think she would have run the mile. She's too brilliant. I agree, Ready As was a real eye-catcher as far as the TJ Smith's concerned, but there's still a few more. I think he's got those horses covered, Ready As, at the mile, but there's still a few from Sydney that might come up in Melbourne that might threaten there.
Like?
There was a horse in Melbourne that won yesterday, and John Hawkes has got a horse called Demons. I still see he's still nominated. He's been impressive.
And Oaks for the 3-year-old fillies over 2,400 metres. And just note that Greg Childs is on Fiery Sunset in the race, and Glenn Collis is now on Glen Sheehan. Collis on Glen Sheehan replacing Stephen King. Irish Darling, Ponty for her 3rd Oaks win today. She's won 2 already. 23 minutes out, it's a very open affair. Let's hear from trainer Tony Wildman, who's here with his filly, Cinquecento.
Tony, Cinquecento, I've got to put the question to you. Was it a surprise when she got up at those big odds the other day in the Doom and Roses?
No, she worked probably better than any horse I've had in 10 years.
She should settle a fair bit more with the run, with the blinkers on and the trip up here and a bit more work Thursday. She should be a bit more settled.
Double figure odds on the tote. Tick buys out 2 points. She's been a drifter and not much action to report among the other fillies. Clearly the best back runner has been Cinquecento, number...
Menswear Oaks, the lights are on. The gate's open, they're off and racing now. Ponty Piccolo from the inside was the first to go for Test. Dane began quickly and so did Prize Lady, and here's Glen Sheehan coming over. Fiery Sunset and Aqua d'Amore not far away, and Tick By is deep. When they sort themselves out, it's Glen Sheehan going to the lead from Ponty Piccolo. Aqua d'Amore goes forward. Cinquecento and Falenica's last of all. They're down the side, 800 to run in the Oaks, and Glen Sheehan by Wonder Zaria. Ponty Piccolo on the inside of Fiery Sunset and Aqua d'Amore between them. Wonder Prize Lady, Havega, followed by Tick By, Princess Gemma. Then Argyle Lass for Test Danes getting off the fence from Irish Darling. And then comes Mercury Island, Cinquecento second last, turning for home, and then Falenic. 400 left to go. And Glen Sheehan tackled by Zaria, Ponty Piccolo and Princess Gemma try to get through. Prize Lady and Aqua d'Amore came at them, and Vitesse Dane will track up behind them. 200 to go. Prize Lady, Zaria, Aqua d'Amore, and here's Vitesse Dane chiming in, and then Cinquecento. Vitesse Dane ran to the lead. Cinquecento's coming after Vitesse Dane, but Vitesse Dane in front, holding Cinquecento. Vitesse Dane won the Oaks from Cinquecento. It's a photo third between Tick By and Prize Lady. The next time Irish Darling, Zaria, Argyle Lass, Princess Gemma, Aqua d'Amore. Further back in the field, then we've got Havega, Mercury Island, Ponty Piccolo, Glen Sheehan, and then Falenic, and last time was Fiery Sunset, and that is an absolute gun ride by Hugh Bowman. That is an...
50,000, so I mean she's always been a good filly, but that was by far her best win today. Cinquecento ran a very honest race, and Tick By was third, 3, 4 and 10.
Really trained on well.
What will you do with her now?
She's in the Derby next week, so I'll see how she comes through this run.
Yes, he's all pumped up. Chris Lees with good reason. Chip off the old block. Vitesse Dane, Win Riverbed. Hugh Bowman aboard. Cinquecento, a terrific run for second. Tick By was third. We're going to hear...
Beedman said, I let Bowman do all the bullocking work. He then comes after it and looked half a chance here, but Matestane holds it and Tick By on the outside gets up to run third. Those two horses that run first and second, they were the best runs in the Doomben Roses 2 weeks ago. In fact, we alluded to that, and we thought they'd probably be the two horses to fight out the Oaks, and they did.
She's outstanding, that third filly. She only won a maiden 5 or 6 weeks ago, and that was only her fourth start in a race. She was positioned beautifully, Tick By we're talking about, and just nothing went right between the 650 and the 350.
Bit of a traffic jam there. Trained her for an Oaks either, so a pretty good effort. But don't take anything away from the two that won the race. They're good fillies, quality fillies.
One thing I want to say is if any one of those 4 fillies running the Oaks, I think, in the Derby, I think they're too good for the Colts. I think they're a bunch like the Colts. I think a filly will win the Derby.
Ooh.
All right, Ron, well, it's confirmed the bell. Disappointing news. Ponte Piccolo has injured a tendon and is likely to be retired.
One question I want to ask.
She would get no weight in the Caulfield Cup.
No.
So, you know, she won't have to be too big, you wouldn't think. But we're getting well ahead of ourselves here in the Caulfield Cup. It's run third in the Queensland Oaks.
That's exactly right. But can I just say something? Just with the Queensland Oaks, Arctic Scent and Ethereal.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, and you can say it and repeat it too. You're right.
Arctic Scent and Ethereal.
Boom, boom. Right, now...
Wayne Hillis.
Wayne, designer this afternoon in the QTC Cup. We know that all bar one's going to go to the front. Can this horse stay?
A further jockey change to number 19, Zumanity. It's now Bob Alyssa replacing Luke Nolan, and he was replacing Stephen King. So it's now Bob Alyssa on 19 in the last. Now let's head up to Alan for the running of the QTC Cup.
They're racing, and all bar one near the inside. The first to come out of the gates, Designer, Beautiful Gem began quickly. So Breakfast and Hidden Dragon trying to improve. Proudly Aggro's a little bit deep, followed by Sky Cutting second last, and last is Gordo. Up to the bend, 500 metres to go. All bar one the leader. So Breakfast trying not to let it get too far away. 2 lengths away, Beautiful Gem. Proudly Aggro, Hidden Dragon and Sky Cuddle. All bar one at the 300. Only a length in front of So Breakfast. The leader's been niggled at now. All bar one at the 300's under pressure. So Breakfast has grabbed it, and here comes Beautiful Gem on the outside. So Breakfast went to the lead. Beautiful Gem's the danger from all bar one, but So Breakfast in front. Beautiful Gem can't quite pick it up at the moment. So Breakfast holds Beautiful Gem, and So Breakfast beats Beautiful Gem. Tight for third between all bar one and Designer. The next time, Sky Cuddle, Proudly Aggro, Gordo, Hidden Dragon, Legally Bay and Lamond.
And Eagle Farm was the QTC Cup. It went to Sir Breakfast over Beautiful Gem and all bar 1, 7, 5 and 10 were the...
Yeah, Al, that was probably the key, the fact he was on a good track.
Yeah, well, he's been striking wet tracks. He's also had bad alleys. He's a horse for breakfast. He's always been good, as Liam told you. He's placed in the size and the TJ Smith as a 2-year-old. He's a winner of the Ramornie. He ran 2 placings in the Triple Crown races at Christmas last year. Showbiz Kid, which ran 4th in the 10,000, which Glenn Boss was riding in the Stradbroke, just touched him off in one of those races. He's always been a good horse, but it's like everything else. He's got to draw a gate and he's got to get a good track. All bar one, maybe used all his energy up at Doomben his last start. I mean, the day he won at Doomben on the dead track, he ran 184. They ran 187 yesterday, and you can see at the 300 he was always going to be in trouble. Beautiful Gem did well, coming back from 13.50 to 12. But Sir Breakfast on a given day is a very, very smart netty. And, you know, as he said, as Liam said, he goes into the Stradbroke, no weight, good gate, gets an easy run.
I'm tipping that the winner of the Stradbroke doesn't come out of the QTC Cup again this year, because I just don't think that's the... you know, I can't see Sir Breakfast winning it. I can't see all bar one getting that far in that company. I can't see Beautiful Gem.
No horse has ever won it.
No, it's not going to happen again.
No horse has never won the QTC. No horse has never won the QTC Cup and the Stradbroke. And I'm here to tell you, the day that Ariba won the QTC Cup and he got run over in the Stradbroke, I gave it away.
I don't blame you.
All right, now
This is the top rater: Zingham, County Tyrone and Fiery Venture, 6, 9, 1 and 5. Half an hour until the O'Shea Stakes, and Pacific Dancers very well fancied $3.90. Platinum Scissors, who ran a terrific race in the Doomben Cup, he's there at $8.70. And as we move them up, we'll find Zingham, and Zingham will be well in the market, I would imagine. $4.20, but he's not the favourite in early markets. Devastating is there at $9. So that's a very good race to finish the afternoon here at Eagle Farm with the running of the O'Shea Stakes, and it's to be ridden by Blake Shin in this last race. This is the O'Shea at Group 2 Weight for Age. Here's Alan as they get set.
Event. The gates open and they're away in the O'Shea. Who dealt this near the inside began well. Devastating well away. Walter Mitty just behind them. County Tyrone and Regal Punch go forward. So does Fiery Venture, Natural Blitz, and right out in his own is Platinum Scissors. He's starting to come down the middle of the track. At the line the first time, and Fiery Venture goes to the lead. Platinum Scissors about to stride to second. Regal Punch third. Natural Blitz is fourth. Zarbeats go on the rail. Then Noah Lady followed by Dowry. A long way back on the field came Walter Mitty, Imperial, and Double LH is last. Have these leaders gone too early inside the 600? Fiery Venture and Platinum Scissors from Zarbeat. Regal Punch. Natural Blitz pulled out from County Tyrone. Raw Instinct gets to the outside from Pacific Dancer, and Zingham's trying to come through the field. Fiery Venture leads Platinum Scissors to the 300. Regal Punch. Here's Natural Blitz sprinting quickly. Zemanity and Pacific Dancer from County Tyrone, but Natural Blitz hit the lead. Zemanity on the outside about to run it a second, but Natural Blitz raced away from Zemanity close to home, and Natural Blitz bolts in from Zemanity. Regal Punches third, Photo fourth, Platinum Scissors or Pacific Dancer. Then County Tyrone, which didn't have much luck. Zingham got home okay at the finish. It was a fair Brisbane Cup trial under the conditions. The next home in the race then we've got Fiery Venture, Dan Asry from Heaven, Raw Instinct, Noah Lady, Double LH. Then comes Imperial, Zarbeat. Who dealt this? A long way back as Walter Mitty, and last home as Dowry. One's tail distance is devastating, and he's obviously got something amiss with him after his failure in the Doomben Cup as well.
Natural Blitz, he is certainly back to his form of old. Let's land. There's the official totes on the last. Natural Blitz over Zumanity and Regal Punch. That was a late pickup for Bob Alyssa, if you're wondering how he ended up on Zumanity. 2:19 and 7 were the numbers.
He's enjoyed it. What are the plans with Natural Blitz now? A well-earned break? Yep, look, you go out for a bit of a break and then we'll just work out where we go to from there. But I'm sort of thinking more of a later spring, and I'm hoping he might even make a little trip over to Hong Kong for the 2400 metre race over there, the international race.
Yeah, good on you, Doug. Michael Carl aboard. Zemanity second, Regal Punch third. Some nice runs in the race. We'll talk about that in a moment. Al, were you surprised at the price?
Well, you know, punters and tipsters are just dumb. Here's a horse that pays $17 to win. He's the only weight for age winner in the field. He'd won the Feehan Stakes and he'd won the Hill Stakes. He'd had one run at a mile and a half in his life behind Clang-a-Lang and the Derby and the Bog in Sydney. He ran third in the Doomben Cup at 2200 metres and he had to travel wide. And then he pays $17, and we're all running around looking for something to beat him, and he's the only weight for age winner in the whole field. We are just dumb.
I'll tell you what he is too. He's an amazing horse, this. I've never seen a horse that is so much better on a dry track than this horse is. You spit on the track and he's completely hopeless, and there aren't too many like that.
Come off it, Richard. You've been bagging this horse for the last 12 months, I reckon, and Doug Harrison said about time that Richard Friedman comes on and apologises. This horse is a bit more than what you've been. Well, mate,
well, I said he's a Group 2 horse, so what is he?
Well, he's won 5 Group 2s now.
So what does that make him?
No, I haven't finished. He's won 5 Group 2s, and he's a bit more than just a
He's a Group 2 horse, Andrew. That's what he wins.
He's never really had a chance in a Group 1, let's put it that way.
What'd you say?
I tell you what, it's the first time I've seen the horse being ridden, I might be wrong, but aggressively out of the gates. It really switched him on yesterday, and I have to concur that it was a brilliant ride.
As it turned out, Ron, that was probably dictated by the speed, though. Hey, what did you think?
Uses to settle in races.
And we shouldn't forget Zingham from a Brisbane Cup point of view.
He's okay.
He's okay.
Any one of those first 6 over the line has some hope in the Cup, including Natural Blitz.
Yeah, and you just
he's not running.
Andrew alone.
Well, there you go. He's no hope.
Well, he's not running in it, Richard,
well,
so he's got no hope.
There you go.
I will say one thing. Pacific Dancer, there's been a rethink there, Graham. There's every chance the horse will be paid up for now for the Cup.
Okay.
I would run him.
Right.
By the way.
Would you?
Yeah.
Stratty at $5 with Takeover Target, then Ballet Society, St Basil, Dance Hero, double figure odds with Shamika, Bowl Matador. And for the Brisbane Cup, Zingham remains favourite ahead of Regal Punch. County Tyrone's run was good yesterday. Portland Singer and Devastating, I think that's
Yeah, it's still there. It's going wrong.
Yeah, the mile Asian Challenge, you know, you'll see Silent Witness and Bullish Luck, the two Hong Kong gallopers. They're not the only two in the race. They've got some pretty good locals to take on, but it'll be interesting viewing at 4:40 this afternoon.
And they're both drawn right off the track. I think it's barrier 14 and 16, so they'll need a lot of luck.
Will Silent...
Or they might even be at the barrier. This is the Yasuda Kinnan, and well, there's not many in the market, so a Silent Witness certainly will be dominating. It's $1.90, and the stablemate Bullish Luck, who beat him last time, at $9.20. So that pair dominate the market. Not far away, and the two Hong Kong stars, Silent Witness and Bullish Luck, are the two that the punters have sorted out as far as the market is concerned. Lohengrin, number 6.
Leg of the Asia Mile Challenge, and away they go. Perfect start. Hat-trick missed it slightly, as did Sweet Tosho. As we expected, Silent Witness pounced straight from the barrier. Up on the inside is Daiwa Major. Forcing through in the middle is Lohengrin. On its inside is Mataraze Asidam Otre Mazara. On a Silent Witness now pulling up the outside into second place. On its outside, Utopia. Meter mark leading the way at the moment is Lohengrin. Lohengrin from Silent Witness running third. Back on the fence is Orewa Mataruze. On the outside, Utopia. Then comes Dance in the Mood. Balance of Game is there with Daiwa Major. Running on now is Admire Max. Asaksa Denin further back to Bullish Luck. Bowman's Crossing, and still last of all, Bullish Luck is pulled out now. Balance of Game goes to the lead at the 400-metre mark. Silent Witness taken on by Balance of Game and Utopia kicking on the fence. Dance in the Mood. Balance of Game, and wider out comes Sweet Tosho and Telegnosis. It's Balance of Game. Silent Witness kicking back on the inside with 200 metres to go. Out wide now is Sweet Tosho. Asaksa Den in the middle. Silent Witness is kicking. Asaksa Denin gets to it. Asaksa Denin. Silent Witness. Asaksa Denin. Asaksa Denin from Sweet Tosho and Silent Witness. Admire Max not that far away with Bullish Luck. Then Sidewinder back on the fence. A further gap to Daiwa Major. Then pulling, but Felix Koitze has kicked the champ. Asaksa Denin has kicked, taken him on at the 100, put his head in front. Sweet Tosho out wide. Asaksa Denin has nailed it. Sweet Tosho's got second, but well, it's very tight for second, but it looks like Sweet Tosho's second. Silent Witness a very game third. A brilliant run by the sprint champ. Here it is 60, and the champ, Silent Witness. So he's got third. Silent Witness can't be disgraced. Bullish Luck, very tight for the fourth place. In fact, Bullish Luck has got fourth.
It's in Australia. We'll take a break and come back with the of the Group 1s here today. It is the Queensland Derby, the BMW Queensland Derby, over 2,400 metres. And for the Sky ratings in the race, let's have a look there with the filly, the Testane. Sax get a good mention there from our Sky ratings. Here's what they're paying. Saxon for Gerald Ryan, 2,400 metres might be the only query, but he hasn't let anyone down this winter. $5.90. Cedar Manor at 8 was vetted when he arrived at the course. He's been past fit to run. Lachlan River, number 14. For big race jockey Glenn Boss, $6.50. And then as we move them up, we'll find those fillies. Very importantly, the two fillies in the race for Testane, the Oaks winner. She is at $7.40 and Prize Lady is at $10. We're about to hear from Gold Coast trainer John Morrissey, and he's got one of the hopes, Lachlan River.
Well, John, there were some terrific runs in the points on course, and there has been support for number 6 Lord Zalipin. That is in 3 points. So there has been support for the Robert Smurden trade.
Trail to the marquees. The gates open and they're off and racing in the Derby. And Stormhill over near the inside got out well. Zavenska began quickly. Lachlan River was fairly well away. Saxon began well. He's going forward. So is Royal Ninja. Spur Us On and Prize Ladies taking up a prominent position. And when they come down the straight the first time, it's Royal Ninja going to the lead from Stormhill. Prize Lady straight to third. Bay followed by Ancient Faroe, Pentathon. Then Lachlan River picking up ground on the inside, followed by Granzig, and then Zavenska, Groundswell, Roving Owl, Lords are leaping for Test Dana's third last, and then Cedar Manor and Taisho around the bend in the Derby, 4.25 to go. Royal Ninja tackled by Stormhill. Spur Us On, Prize Lady gets in the clear, so does Saxon at the right time, and then comes Gaze On and Lachlan River. Stormhill in front, 200 to go. The heavily backed Saxon coming after him, followed by Spur Us On, Prize Lady, Lachlan River. Storm Hill is still the leader with 100 to go. Saxon can't pick him up, but here's Lachlan River. He can. Lachlan River after Storm Hill. Vitesse Dane and Lords are leaping late. Lachlan River grabbed the lead. Lachlan River won the derby. Lachlan River from a photo between Lords are leaping and Vitesse Dane and Storm Hill over on the inside. Then Pentathon. Saxon couldn't run the distance from Spurus on. Grand Zieg Zavenska. Further back is Cedar Manor. Then Johnny Knoxville, Prize Lady, Tie Show, Roving Owl, Hanalei Bay. A long way back in the field. Then Ancient Faroe, Groundswell, Gaze On. Royal Ninja next to last, and last Tamers, Boots and Spurs. Lachlan River has come with a withering burst.
And full credit goes to John Morrissey. Like, I remember when he first came back into work and I spoke with the strapper Paddy, and I said, gee, this is a nice horse. I remember him running last time.
The race, I thought. And he showed how tough he was his last run when he was trapped so wide away and really battled out strong. Had a lovely run today and really finished off strong.
John said to me he thought he might be a little bit...
The horse has done a great job. He's been out in work three months and 11 days, you know, and it's a big effort by the horse.
Did he get the...
He goes to paddock this week, but well then we'll think about it.
You won this race a few years ago with Glenn Boss and Camarina. How do you rate this horse? How good is he?
I don't know enough about him yet, but Camarina was number 14 and drew barrier 4, and so did he.
Congratulations. Terrific performance.
Thank you very much.
And was also ridden by Glenn Boss. Yep. A few omens there. Lachlan River by Desert King. Lords are leaping second. Vitesse Dane third. We'll talk about in just a moment. Out on the show last week, you just couldn't miss the run of Lachlan River, Ron. It was never on the track and still there at the 100-metre mark.
It was only a matter of whether he could back up after having such a tough run, but a very good training performance, a very nice horse. I think John only paid 30 or 40,000 for him in New Zealand. He's look, he looks a horse for the spring, I think. He's still learning. He's had a limited...
Mind back to Aramine and Aggravation. Those two would have been a fair way in front of this lot.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? They both had a touch of quality about them.
Well, they left them standing the other day, didn't they? Before the
You're 100% right, Larry. But he's an improvement.
Willie Leica. He didn't run. He was late scratching. I think the Alleys dictated the race, didn't they? The winner started from 4, second horse started from 3, third horse started from 18, fourth horse started from 1. And Vitesse Dane, see in the 18.
Alan, John Morrissey's got a bit of trepidation about the spring. He believes that might be 12 months before, before Lachlan River really matures. Only been up for 3 months and 11 days, as we heard in that interview. And John will nominate for this year, but he's got a feeling that it may be just 12 months too soon.
We mustn't forget Lords of Leaping's run either.
Yeah, run a much improved race, Lords of Leaping. He's had a few little niggling problems, I think, coming into this prep, so he's a chance of taking out a few of them provincial and country cups over the spring.
You won the Derby on a couple of fillies.
There always is in a Stradbroke.
Yes, there'll be plenty of pace. There's never a Stradbroke run that isn't run at breakneck speed, and it's going to come like those horses. We saw that horse come from behind. I think we'll find the Stradbroke winner may even come from midfield or back. Might be Patezza, mightn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. Some wide barriers were certainly dished out to the favourites in the Stradbroke handicap, which is coming up next here at Eagle Farm this afternoon. And Glenn Boss, by the way, is riding Showbiz Kid in the race. He's on number 17.
Here the Stradbroke. My numbers are 16, 4, 10 and 17. In that I'm going for Ballet Society. There's not a better looking horse in the enclosure than her.
So Takeover Target comes in. And here's Patezza coming up. And before a house full sign just about at Eagle Farm. Lights on. Gates open and they're off in the Stradbroke. Shamika near the inside was one of the first to go. Takeover Target and Ballet Society began quickly, and so did Dance Hero and Hidden Dragon. Patezza's last, on settling fully into stride, and it's Hidden Dragon going to the lead. Dance Hero's outside it. They're flying to the first corner. Totally Aggro followed by With My Our Sweet Moss St. Basil. Then Conchula, Sadekram, Our Egyptian Wayne wide, followed by Perfect Promise, Winning Bell, Wager Sky Cuddle, Showbiz Kid and Patezza. 700 metres to go. Hidden Dragon a half to Dance Hero. Racing third, Enthusiast on the inside of Takeover Target. Yell fifth on the inside of Ballet Society in a great spot. 2 lengths away in the field. Proudly Aggro, Shamika, With My Our Sweet Moss, St. Basil, Sadekram, Our Egyptian Rain, and Patezza's on the fence. In the straight, Hidden Dragon at the 400 a half to Dance Hero. Then Enthusiast, Takeover Target. With My Yell getting into the clear. Here's Ballet Society, Shamika, and here's St. Basil coming from the tail. Dance Dance Hero led at the 200 metres mark. Take over Target, Proudly Aggro, Shamika and St Basil's down the outside. St Basil's race to Dance Hero, Proudly Aggro. St Basil's taken the lead from a wall of horses, and St Basil won the Stradbroke. From Perfect Promise, I think, second. Pateza's close up in that photo as well. Shamika, Ballet Society and Proudly Aggro not far away. Dance Hero, Showbiz, Kid Sky, Cuddle, Wager. The next time in the race, then Enthusiast, Take Over Target, and then Consular. A long way back, Our Egyptian Rain, Hidden Dragon, Winning Bell, followed by Yell, Our Sweet Moss, With My, and last time is Sir Decram, and he has finally had the day that he deserves. He's had his day. He got left 3 lengths in the Stradbroke last year when he ran third to Thorn Park and Consular. He come from near the tail to run third in the Salinger, behind Take Over Target in the spring. He hasn't been a horse that's been given great barriers. He didn't given great barriers. He didn't have one today. But he's got to where Bevan Lamming always thought he would be. That's the Group 1 dais. And
the numbers. Larry, we've just had another look at the replay there. St Basil, what a wonderful old horse.
Yes, he is. He's one of these horses that haven't been killed as such over the years. A lovely.
How did you feel on Wednesday when Barrier 20 came out again for this horse?
Yeah, look, I wasn't happy, but when you go through it, Pateza drew 24, Take Over Target drew out there, and it wasn't as bad when you really and Dance Hero, of course. They had to do a bit of work, and today, like, he got left wide, but he's tough.
He's a terribly honest horse.
Okay, yes, it was a wonderful performance. Number 11, St Basil, Bevan Lamming, Michael Carl, Perfect Promise second. And
no, she ran a real good race. She got back, the speed was on, and that race should top her off for the Winter Stakes.
Yeah, I had a really nice run. I was sort of 6, when I'm following Ballet Society, and did no work early and worked into the race nice, and I thought I might have got past Ballet Society a bit easier, but she tried gallantly, and maybe the 2 runs in Sydney might have just knocked the edge off her for this camp.
There's 400 metres going backwards. Never got a real good card into the race. I reckon his last 600 was probably the quickest of the race. Outstanding effort.
Very disappointing. Ended up getting across Loveridge from our wide alley. He was 4-1 off early. Passing probably the 700, he started to hang out, and from then on he was off the bit and proved very difficult to ride out, and consequently just plugged along to the line, but very disappointing.
Yes, there were some terrific runs and some disappointment.
It was obvious he was going to be in the finish.
Michael, I can't believe that a horse is 7 rising 8. And Bevan Lamming said this to me 12 months ago. He said, he's just reaching his peak. Now, most horses, when they get to 7 rising 8, are on the downward slide. But this horse is on the up. And I can't remember a 7-year-old winning a Stradbroke in the modern era.
He seems to be, Alan. Well, you couldn't go... That was his career best performance yesterday. He's a horse that's never been knocked about either. Bevan Lamming's taken pretty good care of him right through. He's never really been hammered. But, yeah, he just seems to be getting better.
For this track, hasn't he, St Basil? I think he's won 6 from 11, and over the distance he's done all right too.
Loves it, Graham. Loves these big stretches here.
You've had a long association with him.
Yes, I rode him his first start in Queensland. I think he'd had 2 runs in Victoria prior. Came up here and I rode him in an Ipswich maiden. He got left 2 or 3 lengths. You wouldn't have thought it possible that he could win. And he just had a bit on them. Won easy in the finish.
OK, let's talk about some of the beaten horses. Perfect Promise.
Perfect Promise was an excellent performance. She got back in the run and she was first up. They flew along up front. Look, it could have been a magnificent training performance if she got home, but I'd suggest her main target will be the Winter Stakes, and if she gets speed on up front, she'll certainly be very, very hard to beat. Graham Begg, I think she was a South African mare. He's had for a full preparation now, and I'd suggest that she's got a few wins in store in the coming weeks.
Now, Danny Nikolic, as he pointed out, had to ride Pateza for luck and...
going along so quickly, it's hard to find an excuse for so many runners, but if anything, Pateza didn't get a card into the race at the right time and just had to change course a few times, and he really knuckled down the last bit, but I feel it was hardly an excuse. You just can't take anything away from this winner.
No.
He drew 20, they flew along up front, he got a little bit of cover early and then sort of did the hard work from the 600 on.
They backed Dance Hero for a lot of money.
Oh, he was a super run, Dance Hero. I mean, they ran the first 800 of the Stradbroke in 45.4. I mean, and Dance Hero, there he is to the last 100 metres, and he was first up. He was an unbelievable performance. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, top effort, Al. The horse will go for a short spell now, be aimed towards the spring. There's every chance Shamika may have run her last race yesterday. The owners will decide her fate in the next few days. Wager and Winning Bell are both going on to the Winter Stakes in a couple of weeks. As you mentioned, Perfect Promise. Hidden Dragon, the horse that threw on the pace, has been officially retired. Some negotiations going on with the stud at the moment. And St Basil, remarkably purchased by Bevan Lemming at the Caracas sales for about $35,000. He was waving to a mate over on the other side of the betting ring, the selling ring. The bloke took it as a bid. They threw it down, and there was St Basil. He wasn't bidding for the horse, but by gee, he's pretty happy to have him now.
Just goes to show.
Bevan Lemming made some interesting comments. And that's the fixed odds there. Zingham still the favourite, head of Pacific Dancer, Regal Punch, County Tyrone, under double figure odds. Double figure odds, Portland and Seeger heads those from Philonta 12.
The Group 1s here at Eagle Farm this afternoon. The Race Tree TJ Smith over 1,600 metres. The race is worth $504,000 in prize money. And let's check out the ratings there with two of them, Upilio and Testifiable. The firm favourite with TAB fixed odds during the week, and he was $17 on those ratings. Here's the market. Testifiable there at $4.40, but Foolish, Katsidis and Upilio both at around $9. Nihab Demons, there he is, $17 on Unitab. He's been the $4.50 favourite with fixed odds during the week. He's been very well supported. $11 New South Wales and $5.70 Super Tab. Of course, the trainer of this Kiwi 2-year-old, Darcy Brahma, I refer to Mark Walker. In stakes as a 3-year-old. Other winners over the years have been Showa Hart, who went on to win a Stradbroke Handicap, Freemason, who went on to win a BMW Stakes in Sydney, Mahogany, multiple Group 1 winner, Slight Chance, Zeta Tave, and right back to Luskin Star in 19...
Racing now, Kincharm in the inside was out okay. Upilio's going back with Demon shortly after the break, and out wide Just the Star was the first to go. Foolish began quickly, Testifiable's going forward, and Kincharm's rattling along the fence. La Celebre Nabaraz back on the fence, ready as, no luck, 3 deep racing in a line near the tail of the field around Darcy Brahma, and Demons is on the fence last. 600 metres to go, Testifiable, Wonder Foolish, Just the Star, Kincharm with a lovely run on the fence behind the speed from La Celebre. Then comes Katsidis, Nehemiah, Upilio and Ready As is still deep. Demons back last. Testifiable leads, 400 to go. Foolish after it, followed by Kincharm, La Celebre. Then Just the Star, Katsidis and Ready As coming down the outside with Darcy Brahma. Foolish hit the front from Testifiable. La Celebre. Here's Ready As and Darcy Brahma's coming down the outside. Ready As and Darcy Brahma out wide have taken the lead. Look at Demons shoving up out of the ground. Darcy Brahma's grabbed the lead. Darcy Brahma beat Ready As and Demons. Fourth, La Celebre. Then came Nabaraz, Testifiable, Katsidis. The next time in the race, Kincharm from Foolish. Nehemiah's a long way back in the field, followed by Just the Star, and last time is Upilio, the Kiwi. Darcy Brahma, the Danehill, the $1.2 million colt, has won the TJ Smith.
He cost a packet $1.1 million by Danehill out of Grand Eschazeau, so he had a lot to live up to, and he's
out a bit. This track's quite firm, and you know, I just don't know whether it quite suits every horse, but it'll take a bit to swing. He's got to look ordinary for me to get off him in the enclosure, and I don't see that happening because he's been trained for this race. He's a good type of horse, but see 2 miles, and we'll just see what happens. The best rider will win the race.
Yeah, exactly right. We've just had a look at the figures, and it is quite an open affair. It's been a bit more clear-cut during the week, but there's a couple of chances. Zingham, Pacific Dancer is very well fancied. He's an interesting runner, isn't he, Larry? He's had an interrupted preparation, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's the problem. I just don't know whether the Brisbane Cup was on his program this time in.
For the Brisbane Cup, Zingham, number 5, ahead of the well-tried Pacific Dancer.
OK, Graham, thank you.
Who dealt this from Barrier 2 was one of the first to go. Philonta 12 began quickly. Zarbeat began well. Regal Punches going forward in the early park, and so is Chinbok, and then Vendôme's going forward. When they settle down at the end of 200 metres, it's Vendôme going to the lead. Regal Punch quickly outside him in the early early part. Portland Singer goes to third and Chinbok eases to fourth, and the grey Pantani, he's up running fifth. Then Sunraysia last of all in the back straight going towards the 1300, and Portland Singer's gone to the lead now. Shamrock Shore went to second. Regal Punch now steadied third. Now Zingham's out three deep, trying to get on the back of County Tyrone. Sunraysia's going forward from Who Dealt This Famous Dane. Noah Lady dropped to the tail. 800 left to go on the Brisbane Cup. Portland Singer, three past the Shamrock Shore. Regal Punch on the inside from Vendome and Chinbok and Walter Mitty. Then the grey Pantani. They're followed then by Falonte Etoile, County Tyrone, then Zarbeat. Zingham still in the second half of the field from Imperial Pacific Dancer, Noah Lady, Sunraysia, Famous Dane, and Who Dealt This is last. Portland Singer first for home. 4:50 to go. Two to Shamrock Shore. Regal Punch in the clear now. They're followed by Vendome, Pantani, County Tyrone, Zingham down the outside. Portland Singer still in front. 200 to go. Shamrock Shore second, followed by Regal Punch and Pantani. Portland Singer still the leader. Shamrock Shore and Regal Punch trying hard to pick up Portland Singer, but she's going strongly, Portland Singer. She'll win the cup. Portland Singer from Shamrock Shore or Regal Punch. Pantani's probably run fourth in front of Zingham. The next County Tyrone, Falonte Etoile. Then comes Famous Dane, Vendome, Noah Lady, Imperial Pacific Dancer, Sunraysia. A long way back, Zarbeat, Chinbok. Last of all, Who Dealt This? Here's one tail right off Walter Mitty. And Nasri broke down coming past the winning post the first time round. The winner has started from an outside gate, and an absolute dashing ride by Larry Cassidy on Portland Singer.
They've done a fantastic job with her because, from the time she come back in, this is a race we had planned for, and we've timed it to perfection, and it's come off. Not often they come off.
She was always up in. Were you confident? Wait on the race. Race 7, Portland Singer. Shamrock Shore ran the race of his life, and Regal Punch was third. 6, 13 and 7, 13 and 7.
Connections of outstanding galloper Mummify have set their sights on winning this year's Cox Plate and the title of World Racing Champion. Lee Friedman's 5-year-old, which came out of quarantine in Melbourne today after winning the Singapore Cup, currently leads the World Championship points table.
Mummify has been under wraps since returning home a fortnight ago, but emerged from quarantine greeted by his happy band of owners. The 5-year-old defying an apparent form slump and stifling temperatures to win last month's Singapore Cup, a race which included last year's official world champion Apollo.
Mummify for Danny Nikolic and Lee Friedman. For him to come from last and fly down the outside and beat two sort of world-known Group 1 horses was great, and the party afterwards was fantastic too.
Mummify's victory earning him maximum points in this year's World Champion racehorse title. Connections now seeking overall honours by winning the Cox Plate.
We'll certainly do that because we're on top of the World Series now with the points, and I think there's about a $1.2 million US bonus, so Lee's pretty keen to try to get his hands on it, as we are.
Trainer Lee Friedman planning a two-pronged attack on Australia's Weight for Age Championship after announcing Makybe Diva would also be set for the race. Meanwhile, two other Aussie turf stars are aiming to follow in Mummify's footsteps at England's famous Royal Ascot Carnival, moved this year to York because of rebuilding at Ascot. Former Queenslander Starcraft will have his first start since last year's Cox Plate in tonight's Group 1 Queen Anne Stakes, while due by duty-free winner Elvstrom tackles another world-class field in tomorrow's Prince of Wales Stakes. Damien Booth.
111. And Rakti is dominating that market at Tucson. He's considered the best miler in Europe. He's won 7 Group 1 races, and there's not many prepared to tip against him today. He won at Newbury at his last start by 5 lengths. He has been a bit of a problem horse in the past, but he's got a few little quirks, Rakti, but going on his last start win, it's going to take a pretty good horse to lower his colours. Of course, we're all hoping that Starcraft can do that, and he's very popular on our tape board at $3.60. Valix is a Group 1 winner at his last start in France, so with more.
From 7 furlongs up to a mile and a half?
Yeah, he's won 3 Group 1s. Yeah, he's probably a, 1,800 metre horse, mile and a furlong. Ghost Zapper type distance, something
So
like.
why did you decide to bring him over to the UK?
Well, I lived here off and on for many years, and I've always wondered how the Australian horses would compare. I wanted to come and race at the highest level, and I've met Rakti when he's in good mood, so...
Here's Rakti, and he's broken the parade. He's not parading. He's gone straight to the start, and
he is out of control. Totally out of control. And unfortunately, it's the other Rakti who's turned up here today. And across the wide expanse here of the Naesmire, he is totally unsettled. Philip Robinson doing his very...
Amazing thing. When the pictures that we broadcast just a few minutes ago were shown on the big screen here at York, Radke was 4-5 and very, very solid. It is now being quoted at even money, and the bookmakers, you feel, are out to get it. Valixia is a solid favourite, and one or two shrewd judges are backing that one each way. And there's also been an interesting move for the top one, Akimbo, 33 into 25 to 1. That's a big one against the field. Hurricane Allen also supported at 22. So Radke 10 to 11, now 4 to 1 bar. That's Valixia. It's 13 to 2 Stagecraft, but Radke just
off, and away they go. What reflexes? Rakti is not that well away in the centre. Out wide Akimbo began well. Up there is Starcraft on the near side, and Babadana is searching for a handy position as well. Valixa right there on the fence. Further back is Hurricane Allen, who's eased out of it early, and Starcraft and a bit of bother on the inside. But Rakti eventually got to the lead. Rakti leads from out the back, MacLove, as they swing the corner now, and they've just got on a half mile to travel. Rakti on the far side, the leader from Akimbo. Then in third place, Valixa, followed then by Babadana the outside. Prince Kirk in behind them. Further back is Starcraft, MacLove, then Pastoral Pursuits. Martillo behind them, and further back is Hurricane Allen. 2.5 furlongs to go. Rakti on the far side. Here comes Valixa on the outside. The big danger now as they race up inside the two. Valixa takes it up now from Rakti, is finding little. Further back then Akimbo's gone very wide. Starcraft is running on for a place. A furlong left to go though. It's the French runner, Valixa, who's 2 or 3 in front. Rakti's trying to come back at him. Valixa tying up a bit in front. Rakti battling on from Starcraft, but Valixa goes on to win the Queen Anne by a couple of lengths. Rakti was second, third then Starcraft, fourth MacLove from Akimbo, then Martillo. Further back is Pastoral Pursuits, and they're followed by Babadana. Further back is Prince Kirk and Hurricane Allen. Valixa, in the colours of His Highness the Aga Khan, trained in France by Andre Fabre and ridden by Christophe Soumillon, goes on to beat Rakti. Third is Starcraft. Fourth is Mac.
The pre-Disfahan, yeah?
The Istahan. He did a very, very fast time.
And he beat Elvstrom, who runs later this week, Australian horse.
And of course he beat Elvstrom, who had actually ran third in the race that Rakti won in Newbury. Yeah. So I don't think you're right what you're saying about next time. I think this horse is better than Rakti. Full stop.
Okay, well that's fair. Fair enough. Absolute fair enough comment.
Folding.
Bred and owned, but the big lot that you bought from Jean-Luc Lagardère, it seems
Group 1 racing during the week at Ascot, or actually at York. Ascot racing at York. I've got that right, have I?
You sure have, and we're watching Charmadel with Kieran McAvoy going to the front in the St James Palace Stakes Group 1. And watch Kieran do the job on this.
Valorum running on very late is the danger as they race up though towards the furlong. It's Charmadel. There's no danger. He's 6 in front. Running on at Valorum, followed by Rockamador and then Candidate. But Kieran McAvoy on Charmadel is going to romp home with the St James's Palace Stakes. It's Charmadel by 4 in second ad Valorum, third Oratorio.
Thought he ran well. Obviously, that was an easy pick, but I didn't think he'd win like that. You know, he really quickened up and thought it'd be on doubt, sort of passed the 2.
He's a champion 2-year-old of last season, Charmadel, and he's also the winner of the French Derby and the 2,000 guineas in France. So he was the favourite in the race.
Group 1 Queen Anne Stakes. And let's pick up the action here. This is the race that Starcraft is in. We'll tell you more on that, or Rich will, in just a moment.
Takes it up. Valixa tying up a bit in front. Rakti battling on from Starcraft, but Valixa goes on to win the Queen Anne by a couple of lengths. Rakti was second, third then Starcraft, fourth MacLove.
Valixa there, trained by Andre Fabre, ridden by Christophe Soumillon. It was a nice ride by Soumillon. Rakti, who started the favourite, once again played up badly before the race. He was acting like a lunatic. He went to the front, he over-raced a little bit. Starcraft got back on the inside and he was underriding a fair way out, and he kept having to check off heels and get into the clear.
He didn't look comfortable.
He didn't look comfortable, but he didn't look like a horse that could win the July Cup either. He looked like a horse looking for more ground. I mean, Alf, did you get that impression with Starcraft, who ran on well into third?
Yeah, look, I thought his run was okay, but, you know, I say okay, but I tell you what, you know, these two horses that finished ahead of him, they are as good as I've seen. Now, that horse Radke, I know it's an absolute imbecile, and we saw it play up disgracefully pre-race. Look, they've told us time and time again he can do it any time. Very, very unpredictable. The speed probably didn't suit Starcraft as far as I'm concerned, but I tell you what, given the fact that I think that's one of the best races that was run in terms of class over the entire carnival, I thought Starcraft's performance was absolutely excellent, and they're starting to learn a little bit about him too.
Owner Paul Macon met with trainer Luca Kamani overnight. I had a chat with him late last night. It's been confirmed that Starcraft will go to the Coral Eclipse Stakes at Sandown, over 2,000 metres in a fortnight's time. He'll clash with the first winner that we saw, the Godolphin horse, Sharma Dal, and also Motivator, the Derby winner. So it's going to be a very hard task again for Starcraft in a fortnight.
But that was a good race. That was a good race, that Velixer, isn't that the one that beat Elstrom in France? Yeah. So.
He's a very, very smart European horse, and as Alf says, that was an extremely strong race because we know how good Rakti is.
Apparently, the thing that's
the value at the moment is Ouija Board at 450 and 520, but she is first up over 2100, and that trio dominate the market. You're getting amazing odds about horses like Warsan, and race 3, the Prince of Wales, coming up in about 17 minutes.
You going to have Elstrom handy today?
Oh, not really letting too much go. We'll see how he jumps and work it out when we hit the ground.
Hope it goes when the ground was a bit loose, but she's got to start somewhere.
She has. Let's check them in this order. Number 2 is Azamor, the colours of His Highness the Aga Khan. Lucky last time. Here's the Caulfield Cup winner from Australia, Elstrom, also winner of the Victoria Derby, and has been doing very well on a worldwide campaign so far. A winner in Dubai not that long ago. He's been to Hong Kong since then, and Paris. Nashville Willer riding. Number 4.
Ouija Board is the one they can't give away. If you back Ouija Board, I would say take SP because he's getting bigger all the time. It's 3-1. Ace and North Dancer against this favourite. Azamor, though, pretty strong.
John Ox, he looks very well, John Azamor. Oh, he's in good form, yeah, everything's gone well with him.
Okay. Just back at about 4th or 5th position early, and going on early, it's Elvstrom by a length and a half to Touch of Land, who's out there on the inside in second. Being shaded now by Ace on the outside of the dark blue jacket, followed by Warsun, and further back is Hazy View as they settle. Azamor about cap, and last is Ouija Board passing the 5. They're heading towards home now, and the leader Elvstrom out in front by a length and a half, bobbing along as he did in the duty free in Dubai. Leads for home now by 3 lengths to Hazy View and Ace. Further back, Touch of Land. The field's splitting. Some have got different views where the better ground is. Followed then by Azamor, North Dancer, Ouija Board and Warsan as they come into the home straight now, and a race up with 3 furlongs to go. Elvstrom on the far side giving plenty. Ace on the near side. Azamor coming right down the outside now, followed by Touch of Land. Elvstrom shaken up on the far side, being grabbed now by Ace. Here's Azamor putting in his claim, followed by Touch of Land. They've drawn away from Ouija Board and North Dancer. A furlong and a half to go. It's Ace and Azamor who settle down to fight it out. Elvstrom can't fight any more from Touch of Land as they come inside the final furlong. Class is going to tell here. Azamor gaining the upper hand on the near side, and Azamor coming away to win the Prince of Wales by a couple of lengths. Second is Ace, about 5 or 6 lengths away. Third is Elvstrom, followed then by Touch of Land, 4th, and Warsan, then North Dancer from Ouija Board, and Hazy View is last. Elvstrom, Nashville Willer at 11-1, and the distances
7-1, and Elvstrom finished third at 11-1. So Azamor lands
the favourite, Ace running second. Elvstrom did well. He ran third. He stayed over against the inside rail when later in the day I think the jockeys figured out it was no good against the fence, so he might have been better if he'd come out, but he was beaten 5 or 6 lengths there into third spot. He did over race a little bit in the middle stages, but I thought his run was very good because these are good horses. horses, Michael.
I actually thought that was probably the best run I've seen him put in this horse. I mean, he led them up, as you said, he over-raced, and there's a turn where they come off the 1,000 and they sort of go down a bit of a dip. He seemed to get away a little bit on Nash there, and he put, like the second horse that's just taken over there, he put 4.5 lengths onto it, a long way up from home. I thought he battled on courageously. Anything else that was up on the pace never got sided. The winner came from like 7 or 8 lengths off the lead and smoked its pipe, but serious racehorse, that winner. Serious racehorse.
It's been confirmed, Mike, overnight by Tony Vassell and Frank Tagg in Europe that the horse will go to Paris for its final run on the 26th. They've got nothing to lose. They're chasing that elusive Group 1. They want to shuttle the horse over there, but it has been confirmed one final run before he goes to stud.
He set the 4,000-metre Ascot Gold Cup was yet another of the Group 1 races, and Westerner, the winner here. This may be coming to Australia for the Melbourne Cup. We'll check with the boys in just a moment.
Left to make up now and starting to run on very well for Pallier. They've got just on a furlong and a half to go, and it's Distinction in front, but here comes Westerner. Vinnie Rowe can't find much more from Franklin's Gardens. They run up now with a furlong left to go in the Gold Cup. Westerner on the far side, collaring Distinction. They settle down to fight it out with 100 yards left to go. Westerner's too classy. Westerner's going to win the Ascot Gold Cup at York by a half length. Second Distinction, third Vinnie Rowe.
That was an absolutely beautiful ride by Olivier Peslier on Westerner. He sat back on the fence. He produced the horse the last little bit. Didn't get to the front too early because he'd done that before and knows that the horse can just stop when he gets to the front. But a beautiful ride. He really pulled the pants down of a few other jockeys, including Paddy Smullen on Vinnie Rowe, who sat 3 and 4 deep the whole way. I know that's what they do in Europe, but geez, over 4,000 metres, it makes it tough. And Distinction, of course, we know Distinction because he ran 6th in the Melbourne Cup. So a very strong Melbourne Cup connection there from the first 3 horses there, apart from the winner, who is rated at the moment the best stayer in Europe.
Yeah, Racing Victoria officials have been there this week. The horse will definitely be nominated. They're going to the Arc. Racing Victoria are in depth.
Yeah. I like your French part.
What a good race it is. The top weight that we're going for here is Natural Blitz. Numbers of 1, 8, 5 and 12. Natural Blitz, very hard to go past him after his good win in the O'Shea Stakes the other day, particularly as he come from 18 Alley. He made his way across and sat in a great position, run on with the race. 58.5, well, he probably deserves that anyway, so it's not that there's...
7 is Forest Jim, Barry Miller and Tony Patillo combined, all conquering Tony Patillo.
All conquering is right, yeah. And I'll tell you what, this horse up to his best, he can run well. He looks well, Jim, always does. He's one of those horses, but he'll either put in or he won't. One in the field, and for that reason... A bit switch can be as well. Well, you've put one in the field, Kojima. When did you arrive here with this?
Running of the 4X Gold Ipswich Cup. Can he win Natural Blitz? Just looking through the Miller's Guide. Set, and they're off and racing now, and Natural Blitz began brilliantly from barrier number 3. Annie Karina didn't begin all that well. In fact, it's back in the second half of the field, so there's the first surprise of the race, and have a look at them come down the straight the first time. Volksini near the fence, Desert Flight, Natural Blitz, Sky Love, Kojima. Here's Make Me a Miracle, and Fiery Ventures going forward on the out. Run at a cracking pace, down the back, 1,000 to go. Fiery Venture the leader now. Karima's taking off on the outside, then Motivate, Classic Carla, followed by Rather Grand. A long way back on the field, Forest Jim, followed by Sailor's Lark, and Annie Karina is last of all. At the 700, Fiery Venture, a half Kojima on the outside, 2.5 to Skylove. They're closely followed then by Desert Flight on the fence, and now Natural Blitz is called upon for his run. Volksini's trying to go with him from Dowry, Classic Carla, and Motivate's making ground, and so is Forest Jim. They pack up on the corner. Fiery Venture at the 300. Just in front of Skylove, Natural Blitz coming at them, Voltsini, Desert Flight, Motivate, and here's Forest Jim and Classic Carla. Fiery Venture tackled by Skylove, but here's Forest Jim and Motivate. Natural Blitz can't go home. Forest Jim and Motivate take the lead from Classic Carla, but it's Forest Jim in front. He's getting away from Motivate, and Forest Jim wins. Motivate second, Classic Carla third, Voltsini fourth. Natural Blitz is next, then Skylove, followed by Desert Flight. Annie Karina is Make Me a Miracle, and Tony Patillo has done it again. Tony Patillo has done it again. The Gay Waterhouse, the Eyeliner, and now the Ipswich Cup. What a day he has had. Forest Jim is the winner.
Well deserved too to Tony Patillo. That's a treble. Barry Miller is the win in the Gay Waterhouse.
Yeah, well, he's more consistent.
Patillo, the three big ones at Ipswich this afternoon before a 8:5.14 and time 2:11.53, and Forest Jim over Motivate and Classic Carla getting third.
I did on the turn, and he was basically equal with the second and third horse when they straightened up and did best. I think the true Forest Jim stands up when there's a stack of pace on, because he is well known for having an electric finish, the horse.
Yeah, he's a 9-year-old now. I think he's rising 10, is he not?
But I can remember when he started off in Victoria for Lloyd Williams.
He won a race at Moonee Valley one day and they all had him as a Cox Plate horse.
He looked like a superstar, but he's a thinker.
I think we've all done that. Sorry,
he's a beautifully Waft Stakes. It was previously known as the Mercedes-Benz Stakes. Takeover Target is the top rater. Nasuno, Youthful and Matani 1, 7, 5 and 6 is the market for the Carlton draft. As we take you back to Eagle Farm, Larry is with the trainer of Le Monde, Sean Dwyer.
We ran him in the eye line. He was quite unlucky. Michael Rod rode him. And
Eagle Farm, here's Al for the 5th.
For the BTC Cup, he probably needed the run, and that was the day he went off. Waiting for Nasuno. They're racing now. Answer Breakfast to the inside was the first to go. River to the Sea began quickly. Here goes Takeover Target, and Sovereign Express is coming over quickly from out wide at the first corner, and Takeover Target goes to the lead. 600 to go. Takeover Target and Sovereign Express led. On the fence of Breakfast. River to Sea in the middle. Matani's out deep on the track. Then Youthful, Poetic Papal. Conchler's on the rail. Then comes Nasuno, and then Storm Cat Academy, Le Monde. Takeover Target leads at the 400 from Sovereign Express. Sir Breakfast on the fence behind them. River to the Sea, Matani, and here comes the eyeliner winner Nasuno with a big run. Takeover Target leads at the 200. Nasuno's in hot pursuit. Sir Breakfast trying to get out. Poetic Papal late. Takeover Target, Nasuno, Poetic Papal and Le Monde. Takeover Target, Poetic Papal's having a dive at him on the line and got him, I think, Poetic Papal. Poetic Papal's beaten Takeover Target right on the line. Photo third between Le Monde and Nasuno. The next home, Matani, Conchula, a Breakfast. And then comes Sovereign Express. River to the Sea. A long way back is Youthful. And last home is Storm Cat Academy. And Poetic Papal has been backed at odds of 100 to 1. And it's delivered to pay $69. But they backed it at the hundreds, and it came into 80s and then to 70s. So this hasn't come home unwanted.
For the weight signal, Poetic Papal, ridden by Yoshi Yamazaki at $69. Takeover
the owner of Poetic Papal, who backed it at 100 to 1 with about 6 or 7 bookmakers. One bookmaker actually bet Brendan Richards 150 to 1 about his horse, and he backed it with about 6 bookmakers between 100s and 150s, and home it come to knock over.
David Kelly was the former jockey from up the Northern Rivers area. I'll check on that. Poetic Papal, David Kelly, Yoshi Yamazaki, Takeover Targets, Yamazaki.
Well, apart from the fact that the horse won the race and he was backed at the long odds, at the presentation, Yoshi stood on the dais when he was introduced and he said, I don't know what to say because I've never been here before, but he said, how you people say here, I got the chocolates. which I thought is probably one of the best speeches of our racing year. You can see Poetic Papal just coming around the back of Nasuno in the Cerise. Takeover Target's trying his heart out. Nasuno can't reach there. Here's Poetic Papal. Le Monde's coming down the outside from the tail, but Poetic Papal just got up to beat Takeover Target. Le Monde ran a terrific race, had the bad gate, had to go back to last. He's not far off a win. And
can't understand the obsession with wanting Takeover Target to lead or be on top of the pace, you know, outside the leader or something. He doesn't look like a fierce-going horse to me. He looks like a horse that could be ridden just off the pace and give him a bit more of a chance. He's starting to carry decent weights in races now, so for mine, I'd be looking to get the horse off the pace and let him run on. I think he's a sitting duck every time he does that. And just on...
And Richard, I'm going to agree with you too, because Jay Ford, I like him a lot as a young rider, and he showed more aggression on Takeover Target yesterday than he did in the Stradbroke Handicap.
Right.
I don't know if that's agreeing with me or not.
I don't know.
Yes, it certainly is, Richard, because you said that the horse would be better just taking it a bit easier on him in the earlier stages. And look, on him in the Stradbroke Handicap. And he failed in that.
I knew you'd come around eventually.
Hey, don't get too carried away. Don't get too carried away.
The show's only early, Richard.
Starting to worry there, Alfie.
Zin Zin, Charmview and St Jessie 1, 14, 10 and 13 for the Sky ratings. Now we're going to catch up with a few of the jockeys and the trainers involved in the Winter Stakes, and Larry is with Cliff Brown, the trainer of number 20, Fluffy Courage.
But with every run, her appearance has picked up.
Yeah, look, she's well. She's everything's good. She's had no luck up here, but she's run pretty well and she's starting to put it together.
Well, that run behind or Chocolate is
up to head back to Eagle Farm for the
Winter Stakes. Royal Mask bungled the start, came out at the tail of the field. Perfect Promise came out in the first half dozen. Villa Bled actually beat them out and will lead on, settling down. Natural Woman's going to join it and go. Villa Bled out by 4 lengths. Natural Woman second, third Pentelican. Kind Spirits fourth on the outside. Then comes Zinzin Yvonne, followed then by Secret Gift. Perfect Promise about midfield on the inside, being closely followed by Chewy Song, Buckle My Shoe. Then Charmview, Fluffy Courage, Deep in the Woods, St Jessie, Image of Reality, Tell Dawn, Royal Mask and Cat Rain and O Chocolate. Around the turn, 4.25 to go. Villa Bled led Natural Woman, Pentelican. Kind Spirits, Yvonne, Zinzin. Now Perfect Promises going up near the fence. He'll need a touch of luck to get out. Then Chewy Song and Secret Gift. Villa Bled led Natural Woman. Perfect Promise can't get out. Charmview's going to get a split, and here's Chewy Song and Yvonne. Chewy Song, Yvonne and Charmview have taken the lead together. Charmview and Chewy Song will fight it out. Charmview grabs the lead. Charmview beat Chewy Song. Yvonne third. Photo fourth. Villa Bled or the unlucky Perfect Promise. Then comes Image of Reality, followed by Deep in the Woods, and then St Jessie, and then Villa Bled, Chocolate, Zin Zin. The next home in the race, we've got Tell Dawn, Fluffy Courage, followed by Secret Gift, Natural Woman, Buckle My Shoe. Then comes Pentelican, followed by Kind Spirit.
Trifecta $279. Song and Yvonne, the trifecta $279. My thanks to
It's a great race to win.
Yeah, Tony Wildman, the trainer. Well done, Tony. And Brad Stewart. A heady ride. Chewy Song out wide second, and Yvonne was third. The favourite missed the place. Perfect Promise. Al, had it got the run, do you think it would have figured in the finish?
I think it would have won.
Oh.
I think it would have won. Had a beautiful run on the fence, and keeping in mind wide, and Perfect Promise just never really gets going. I think it would have won myself, but you know, Charmview, that's only her third race win. You know, she's been, you know, she's been terrific in a lot of races, but has never won that many. And that was only her third race win yesterday, but she made it a good one. $400,000 race in Group 3.
I couldn't say with as much certainty as you, Al, that Perfect Promise would have won. I think she'd have been right there in the finish. I thought Yvonne was a very, very good run. Had to make got involved in the hot pace early and stayed up there on top of them and kept batting away. It sort of set it up for something to come over the top of them, Michael. But
the weight, the 57 kilos would have anchored a bit too.
And the jockey of Chewy Song said to Graham Rogerson, out wide, the horse switched off when it got to the lead out wide and then sort of surged again near the line, so there may have been some excuse for it